Hello everybody. Let me get this ready. We're ready to get some more StarCraft action. We're ready to start our semifinals for Code S Alpha X Apprentice. So guys, we've been this far, some very amazing games, some very strong and tough players, but we're right now to the very four best. Gonna battle to get access to the grand finals, and then the other two are gonna instead play in the standard third place finals that every tournament has, of course. So we're gonna find out who between Tokon versus Arrowfire and Kingslayer versus Instinct is gonna advance to these grand finals. Representation of all races. As always, we're gonna have Tokon versus Arrowfire, as I said, Terran versus Zerg, and then we're gonna have Kingslayer versus Instinct. So a Protoss versus Zerg match instead. And don't want to deal further in those kind of conversations, guys. I think we roll here for some StarCraft, so we better get this started. And what better way to get it started than with one of the favorites in this stage to win the whole tournament, which is Tokon. Our very annoying Polish Terran got to the finals last season against Asuna. He sadly lost 3-1, but Asuna, of course, incredible player. Let's see if he's gonna be able to advance to the grand finals once more. Lazy a little bit better. Okay, I think this should be fine. If you find any issues with the volume, stuff like that, just let me know in the chat. I'll fix it real quick, because sometimes when you load a game from replays, the game likes to just switch your settings to something that's a little bit off. Well, it looks fine. It looks fine. I hope it is. Let me check one thing more. Yeah, it looks fine. Let's get this started, everybody. We're here on Disco Bloodbath. In the right hand side, the blue Protoss player is Arrowfire. In the left hand side instead, the red Polish Terran, former finalist, as I said before, and probably the favorite to get away with the cup, is Tokon. Probably better like this. Anyway, guys, we're talking right here on this side. This guy, Arrowfire, what an impressive player. We all have to remember, this guy is not even in his teen years. This guy is 12, or maybe 13, I'm not even sure. This guy is incredibly young, incredibly talented, and, well, I'd say he's one of those players you have to look for in the big stages in the next years. Because I think I've never seen someone so young and so talented before. And I'm really excited and proud to have such a talent in our ranks in Alpha X, and I'm excited to see if he's gonna be able to start his own path that is definitely gonna be full of victories today with this access to his first important tournament finals. Also gonna get a lot of recognition, and here we see a probe trying to delay a command center for a little bit, as always. Probably was around there for the barracks as well. Not a big deal. It looks like this probe is still hiding to get some more scouting information, maybe see when the Reaper moves out. The Reaper is moving out right now. Arrowfire will not see it, but he knows when he's gonna be past his probe The Reaper is still checking for proxies, checking for anything a little bit off. And Arafire is gonna be doubling down with his scouting information. Already a Marine out at the ready for Tokon. As always, likes to get his Marine out to deny for further scouting. To just be more proactive as possible. On the other side, we already have our first dropped tech structure 2.15 usual Stargate timing for the Protoss player. Probably not gonna be Phoenixes, still gonna be Oracles to transition more comfortably into mid to late game robo composition. Oracle first being sent immediately to the other side of the map. The Reaper still standing, and Tokon also scouted the target. Didn't scout the Oracle, but he probably knows it is one. The Reaper is finally gonna go down. Double Adept, also a big call for a Stargate play. And Widowmine is immediately gonna be the answer for the Polish player. Let me fix this real quick. Looks better. Okay, final. And the Oracle finally joins the fray, but 5 Marines are at the ready. This is gonna be a scouting Oracle and no more. No Cluster Beam action, no Stasis Beam. Arafire is definitely gonna have to wait for the second Oracle to start dishing out some damage. And the Adepts not yet trying to find some damage. Arafire is keeping them back eventually, but it looks like he's actually doubling him down. He wants to deal damage here, serious damage. Widowmines, of course, are gonna be very deadly against these Adepts, but Marines are gonna just melt, even without resonating glaives. This timing attack by Arrowfire looks very much deadly. The two Oracles send a little bit forward to maybe pull the attention away. This Widowmine over here already looking to get a slaughter. Out of range, the Oracles are not gonna get in range, I hope. Oh gosh, no. Okay, one Oracle goes down, 2 are very bruised. Yeah, that's shade on top of the Marines, but the Oracles are very bruised and they're gonna go down easily to those Vikings. They can now just land and get it done with the Adepts. Marines are almost all down, but a pool of SCVs by Tokon ensures the Protoss player is gonna be able to save a lot of them. 5, 6 are gonna go down. These 3 Adepts proving to be very, very annoying, denying a lot of mining time right now for Tokon, but they're not gonna cause any more damage. One more SCV is gonna go down, and that's probably gonna be the end of it. This one Adept desperately trying to get one more SCV down, but he's gonna go down himself. 8 SCVs dead for the Terran player. Overall, not the worst of trades. Arrowfire lost 3 Oracles to this, and is now trying probably to get to a more comfortable gateway count to maybe try and go for an all-in. If he thinks he has dealt enough damage, he already has a fair base of his own, so probably not an all-in, but a very committed attack. Did the Oracle go down again? Oh my god, it did go down again. Probably over here as well. Arrowfire lost 4 Oracles this game. Not exactly the Stargate opener most Protoss players wish for. Tokon very prepared with his Widowmines and Vikings. Also, a lot of Marines is himself preparing to move outside of his base as well. He's gonna be expanding with his orbital command already done and finished. It's gonna have Stimpack and combat shields at the ready very soon, and you're right now spreading Marines through the map to get a little bit more vision. Is Phoenix hallucinated or not? Not gonna get any vision. Tokon very prepared with his defense, and also probably gonna be knowing what is gonna happen in the next few minutes. He sees a lot of gateways, he sees a lot of stalkers, He knows this is Blink, he knows there is a robot transition, and he knows, yes, to deal some damage of his own. Double Medivac drop at the ready with a Ghost Academy transition behind it. Tokon getting ready to get his late game unit composition, while Arafire instead getting charged, and probably a Robobay is gonna be soon made to get those much needed splash damage units. Those Stalkers sharking for damage. It's gonna be a little bit on late side, but this base is very unprepared to deal with any kind of push. This orbital is going to need repairs, or is he going to go down? Stalkers are definitely going to kill it. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Togon is much more concerned with his drop. 20 probes are going down for Arafire, while himself is dealing a lot of damage on the other side of the map. Those SCVs are hiding, but this could be so much economical damage for Arafire if he finds out where those SCVs are hiding. Meanwhile, he decides to commit to the defenses of Tokon. He's gonna lose a lot of SCVs, but these Marauders are not going down that easily. Blink, back, and Arafire has to get away from there. Here, Tokon could possibly go for a block with his own SCVs, but he already lost 20. His Marauders are going down. His production is there to help with finally deflecting those Stalkers. But both players lost 20 workers and a command center for Tokon, actually an orbital command and a Nexus. Arafire recalls the two remaining Stalkers. Overall, Arafire committed way more of his own stuff, but he already had a third base chrono boosting probes, so he's gonna be having a little bit more workers. Also transition, yeah, he's transferring drones back to the main base because he already had a lot of them in excess, even without a proper answer. But right now, what Arafire lacks is a proper army. No splash damage, not a lot of units. Tokon did lose a ton, but his production was already very strong. Arafire's production has been depowered for a lot of time, as well as Charge. Actually, I didn't manage to see this, but Charge wasn't being researched for so long, and when the push by Tokon comes, Charge is not gonna be done. Those Zealots are dead weight right now. They cannot chase this Bio down. Finally, Charge is done, but those Zealots are already pinned down. Tokon ready to deal the finishing blow. Widowmine's shot get a lot of damage on top of the remaining Zealots. More Widowmine's shot are trying to finish down the army of the Protoss player. One force field trying to block the bulk of the units, but Tokon is relentlessly sending units through the map. One more steam forward. The Immortal doesn't go down, but is very bruised. Chargeless trying to do their best. One more Widowmine shot gets done with all of them, but Tokon has to back away. The damage has been dealt once again, but Arafire holds with the skin of his teeth. And now he has splash damage, he has Archons, he has what it takes. These Immortals scouting forward to see where the army of his opponent was. Tokon getting ready for the double punch, for the 1-2. Replacing his lost units, his production is nuts. 7 Marines, 2 Widowmines, 2 Medivacs being researched after losing 20 workers. His gas count is through the roof as well. With these upgrades already at a good stage of finishing, he's gonna be having an upgrade advantage as well, with which he probably wants to end the game, but Storm and Archons may prove very hard to deal with without any ghosts, and that's exactly what Tokon is thinking, because right now he's gonna be starting the first ghost of this match. Marines scouting for a 4th base by Arafire, but the Protoss player is not overextending to such greedy play more than aggressive. Because aggression looks like it's what he wants to do. Templars in a Warp Prism. Let's get back to Brookwork, guys. Templars in a Shadow Storm being ready to be dropped down At any possible stage, those high tempers will slow down the army by a ton. But Tokon knows his opponent is moving out. He has a ton of Widowmines over here at the ready to deal with the units coming. This Stalker blinks forward, but those Zealots are gonna sacrifice to get the damage done. More Widowmines are gonna get more shots, but Blink is done. Zealots are expendable. One Liberator is gonna cover a ton of area. Very good EMP by Tokon, but a very good Storm pins down the army. Two very good EMPs, but the High Templars are inside of the Warp Prism. Perfect Storms. This one Liberator overextending a lot. It is going down, even though there are only two Stalkers. Tokon is gonna hold right now, because this choke point is very hard to push into for Arafire. But Tokon cannot move forward. There are still at least 4 Storms for the Protoss player. And this Bio army cannot handle it that quickly. Good scan by Tokon, but his army right now is very big. This one Widowmine not gonna do a lot of damage. That Archon is still going down very easily. Storms trying to get the most damage done. The army of Tokon is melting to these spellcasters. 2 more Storms at the ready. One gets used, gets a lot of damage. The second one is used right here, gets another one, and this is crazy damage for Arafire. Morphing 2 more Archons. Under Liberator's fire though, cannot fight. More Stalkers join the fray, ready to go on top of these Liberators, and that's exactly what they're doing. One very good EMP is gonna be pinning down those units. Liberators are gonna be finishing them very quickly, and we've seen some crazy good spellcasters usage here and there on both sides. EMPs perfectly getting on top of the army of Arafire, allowing Tokon to hold in the end with a very convincing production behind it, and the +2/+2 upgrades doing the rest of the work. Meanwhile, Arafire, those Storms were nuts. The Protoss player has his 4th base already done. He has a small tiny bit of advantage, and he's gonna be transitioning to a Robo Bay to get more damage on top of the Ghosts before they can EMP his whole army. Over here, Liberator getting 6 probes, probably 7 real soon. Not 7, 8 probes. Where is the other Liberator? Here it is. Gonna be killed after killing 12 probes. Tokon biting back at his opponent. A lot of probes have gone down this match actually. 40 of them have been killed. Arafire losing a little bit too much on every side, even if he's taking actually convincing fights. 2 more probes fell to this Liberator that escapes with his life as well. And right now Tokon is preparing his killing blow before Arafire can get his key units out. No Colossus is in production. The second robot is in production right now. Arafire lost a bit too many probes. He's still trying to remake them, but his offensive position, siege, is already being there. This Warp Prism facing a lot of danger. 2 very good Stones are gonna pin down the army of Tokon. A third one is gonna almost close the deal, but Tokon very quick on his reaction to kill down the Warp Prism. The Stalker Warpin is trying to get it done, but the army of Tokon barely survives and closes the game. A little bit too aggression by Arafire with his move. With the Warp Prism trying to get the perfect Storms may have cost him the game. Of course, EMP were a factor. He had to be aware that his High Templars were in serious danger of not having energy for the fight. But overall, Tokon was a little bit too careful about his backline to let that single Warp Prism do the most of the damage. 2 Templars died. Tokon, I think right now he's a GM player, yes. I'm not sure though, it's definitely 5.5k MMR. I'm not sure if he's actually Grandmaster right now, but he's a very good player indeed. He's Polish, EU. Both players are from EU. Arafire is French, and Arafire is 12 years old, guys. 12. Yeah, never tell him he's from NA. Like, that's probably the only thing you can do to make him mad. Yeah, just ask him. But anyway, guys, let's get into game number 2. Dokkan getting the advantage in this best of 5 series, but will it last? RFI proving himself to be a very strong contendant. And also making a little bit too many mistakes. Avoidable mistakes that could have probably cost him the game. Here we are on Trident. In the top left hand corner, the young French Protoss. Trying to tie up the score after making a little bit too many mistakes in game 1. Is Arrowfire. In the bottom right hand corner instead, the red Polish Terran. With his advantage in his best of 5 series, he wants to push it forward. He wants to get to match point. Is Dokkan. So nothing too aggressive yet. Arrowfire already rolling off his Reaper Cliff as usual. Even though there is actually a trick that allows the Reaper to actually jump through here. But it's pretty hard to do. I don't even remember how to do it. But it exists. Not that it matters, but it exists. Arrowfire trying to scout forward with his probe. But he's sending it exactly on the ramp of Dokkan to try and get some damage done. Dokkan also has to be scouting. Not feeling super comfortable about what his opponent is doing. Even though he should be. Arrowfire likes to cheese here and there. Cybernetic Score is gonna block the Reaper Cliff completely. Dokkan still gonna try and get some scouting information. He sees the Nexus, he gets away. Doesn't need more information than this. And Dokkan drops his command center effortlessly. This probe not gonna get any more delay time on the structures of the Terran player. So both players, content with their scouting, are gonna go back to their build. In 5 seconds, we're probably gonna know what Arrowfire is gonna place as his tech structure. Here it is, and it's gonna be, I say Stargate, a Twilight Console. The most standard of the openers for this matchup for Protoss. Very safe. Can get you to mid-game without too much of a hustle. With, of course, Blink Stalker play. Dokkan's gonna scout it. But for a Terran player, that's almost always a very easy call to make. Seeing the first units of the opponent, but of course the Reaper exists for a reason. And in this case, this Reaper is probably gonna get a probe killed. Actually not. Good reflexes by Arrowfire, allowing that little probe to stay alive. Reaper also gonna get away to check for further scouting information. Dokkan, what are you doing? Save your Reaper. And that's what he does. Widow Mines is instead the call of Dokkan with a starport halfway through. Is this gonna be a Widowmine drop? I think so. I definitely think so. Because Widowmines don't deal with Stalkers, so this is probably gonna be a drop. Widowmines blazing over here to deny the Adept from getting a ton of scouting information. Reaper trying to double check what's happening in a basal Arrowfire. Gonna be sniped down by one Stalker. But Dokkan doesn't really need more information than he already has. Robotics facility, 2 more gateways. Arrowfire wants to add a warp prism probably with his Stalker action, or maybe just an observer to get even more scouting. So NG Bay on the way for Tokon, and yeah, this is gonna be a Widowine drop, that's for sure. The Adept didn't get a lot of information, but he saw the Widowines. So Arafai already has his Stalker in position to block the drop from coming over there, but it could come from here. Even though it doesn't, Tokon's still gonna get scouting on the third base of Arafai being placed. So it is still gonna be useful for the Terran player to get this kind of information. If he gets damage, even better. But he will probably not get damage, not immediately, actually. Because these Stalkers are gonna prevent his Medivac from getting his drop. Tokon realizes the danger and just decides to get back. Arrow Fire doesn't even try to blink on top of it. This Observer is gonna be getting all the information Arafai eventually needs. More Stalkers at the ready here as well. This time a blink forward happens and another blink is gonna kill down the Medivac. Tokon not getting a lot of scouting information and basically losing his Widowmine drop for free, allowing Arafai to move out with his Stalkers, trying to get some damage. There is no bunker out for Tokon, so these Stalkers will deal serious damage. There are a lot of Marines, but Stimpack isn't done, and there isn't a single Medivac. So Arafai could still get a lot of Marines down. He has enough to one-shot a Marine easily. This Observer is gonna allow Arafai to walk on top of this ramp freely, and when blink done, Arafai can also just kite down those units. The Observer goes down after the scan. Actually, it doesn't go down. Arafai prevented it from going down by moving it away before the scan. And those Stalkers are right now gonna play the blink back game, but Tokon already has a very powerful army, almost capable of one-shotting a Stalker. Arafai probably won't try to deal a lot more damage, won't lose his units. This Observer gets seen by Tokon, scans, and gets the kill on top of it. One Marine goes down at the cost of one Stalker. Arafai is just gonna blink back into his base, gonna be following this army closely to avoid it from moving through the map a little bit too quickly. Arafai playing a very dangerous game over here, saves his Stalkers, but not without facing a lot of danger. Charge is almost done, so a lot of Zealots are gonna be able to face the army of Tokon. That didn't deal a lot of damage. He's also expanding very quickly. Has only one Medivac with his push. This Observer are very well placed. Tokon doesn't really look good right now. What? This must be a misclick. There is no way on earth this isn't a misclick. Neo Steel frames. Stalkers are gonna try to avoid the Doom drop from ever happening, and that's exactly what they're gonna do. This Medivac is not going down, but the units it was carrying are definitely not gonna have an easy time surviving the amount of Stalkers Arafai already had prepared. And it looks like once again Twilight Council is doing the trick, but Upgrade's advantage is incredible for Arafai. He's gonna be having +2/+2 done before a Tyrant opponent. That's not something you see in this matchup very often. If not to say at all, actually. Tokon very aggressively expanding over here. Yeah, it was a mistake. There is no way on earth he wanted to research Neo Steel frames. Like, come on. But yeah, I'm never gonna stop mocking this guy for this upgrade over here. Never gonna stop. Storm also on the way for Arafai. It works fine for him in game number 1. It looks like he really likes the spellcaster usage for his high temperatures. Look at this Marine racing the Zealot. Finally charge is gonna be out of cooldown again. Gonna be finishing them one Marine, but the other escaped to safety to check if a 4th base ever comes over here. Both players have a lot of vision right now. But Arrowfire definitely has the army advantage, both in composition and in numbers outside of upgrades that are gonna be kicking in favor of the Protoss player very soon. No Archons out yet, but this War Prism contains a lot of storms. Like a lot of them. Shockwave for EMP not even halfway through. So those goes out for Token, not gonna have the perfect EMPs he was hoping for. RFI gonna get prepared. He knows there are Widow Mines waiting for his army to do one wrong movement. The Token is very prepared and his army does a wrong movement, but right now Zealots trying to force those Widow Mines shots. Not gonna be able to, just gonna lose a lot of units. Storm on top of the Widow Mines to finish them down, but instead 2 shots out of those eventually go through right now, bleeding forward, trying to help those Zealots get a foothold in the army of Token. Storms are gonna be able to close the deal for the French player. This is too many Storms, much more than Token can handle. 2 Archons gonna be moved as well, and probably another one gonna be moved soon, or he's waiting for more Storms. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Token is losing SCVs to Zealots, he's losing his whole army, he's losing command centers, he's losing everything. Arrowfire gets the tie in game number 2. Intense fight for the French player. Strength is in numbers. As soon as his +2 upgrades kicked in, he just decided to finish the game. And without ever dealing economical damage, both players actually just playing a straight up macro race. It looks like the French player had the better idea on how to close this game and performed it in a very flawless way as well, allowing himself to tie up the score once again and maybe see if he can get to match point in map number 3. It's gonna be Ephemeron. This Tyrant is shit. Oh god. Well, he lost 3 Widow Mines and a Medivac for no reason at all. That's for sure. Water is good, guys. Drink your water. In the bottom right hand corner of... Where is this probe going? Okay. On the bottom right hand corner of Ephemeron, the young French Protoss, he is Arrowfire. In the top left hand side is instead the red Polish Terran. He is annoying. He is Token. I would be very surprised of this series having a proxy at all from right now to start, but if it's gonna be having a proxy, this is definitely the map for it. This map is insanely good for proxies for both those races. Doesn't look like it's gonna happen though. Not yet, at least. Is this SCV going to scout? Yes, it is. Oh, this song is good. This is a very good song. Anyway, Reaper in production for the Terran player. It's gonna be expanding to his natural very shortly. Arrowfire still gonna be trying to be as annoying as possible, but eventually Token, as soon as he has the minerals, not probably as soon as yes, but yeah, he's gonna be just dropping it down. Token also getting the scouting information he needs. Gonna see there is no early aggression coming from Arrowfire. And he's gonna be double checking it with the Reaper. So Arafire is still trying to hide his probe. He's gonna be sending it out. And that's gonna be a little bit of a gamble over here. Not losing it, just barely. Of course, trying to be as annoying as possible with his probe over here. Not gonna delay this command center, and he's also gonna be losing the probe. The Marine cannot chase it, the Reaper definitely can. Arafire is gonna be trying to hide his Twilight Console as long as possible with his Adept. And will he be able to do so if he keeps his Adept over there? Yeah, he's not gonna be doing it. The Reaper is gonna get full scouting of the base of Arafire. Of course, Token is gonna lose it. Actually decides not to dive deeper into scouting. He sees the Sulkers. He knows this is probably gonna be Blink, because there is absolutely no need for Arafire to make a Stalker. He's gonna be confirming it with a scan. So right now, Token knows what he's facing. The Reaper didn't really do a lot. He saw the Stalker second. That's still something that is gonna be very useful for Token to understand that his opponent is already producing the amount of Stalker he needs. This Adept is going down without a scouting. Once again, Widowman very deadly against Adept scouting. And Token can just get back into his ramp, back into his base, and prepare for his drop if he decides to go for one, because Token is already producing tanks. No Widowmines. And this could either be a Doom drop, or I'm not sure. Tech Lab next to the starport. This is Banshees. Token mixing it up. Finally, for once in a lifetime, I'm gonna see this guy play something that is not pure bio. Banshees. Arafire expanding to his fur base already, getting his robot behind it, and gonna try to be ready for a drop. They will just never come. As soon as the first observer is gonna be out of this robotics facility, then Arafire will finally know what's up. But Token is already moving through the map. Hiding his Banshees? No, he's not. Second Banshee probably gonna be produced shortly after. Here it is. But the first one with Cloak could already prove very deadly. Token has one and soon to be two scans. Well, his bunkers go down. Those Stalkers trying to get in position. Blinking forward on top of the tank. Was it a good call? I'm not sure. Stalkers are definitely going down, but so do SCVs. And right now it's just those Marines trying to get the most they possibly can, but there is no steam, there is no medivac. So it's just up to this Banshee, and these Marines, Banshee of course deals a lot of damage, but those are Blink Stalkers. They can decide to end the game on their own whenever they want. The bunker barely doesn't go down. Banshees trying to chase down the Stalkers with Cloak. This will finally happen, but this Immortal is still gonna be killing that tank insanely fast. If Token doesn't back down, the bunker is still up there. Token not sending an SUV yet to finish it. It's gonna be sending down a second Banshee, but this one is already in a very big danger of going down. Bunker is probably gonna be cancelled shortly, and so it is. It's gonna be just Banshees trying to get as much damage as possible. Blink Stalkers trying to get on top of the first of the two. And it is going down. The second Banshee getting more and more kills. It's gonna be 5 kills for this Banshee. And it's going down as well. 9 probe went down. 4 SUVs. The push of Token didn't prove deadly enough, but another Banshee is coming. And Token is expanding behind this, while Arafire didn't really have a lot of probe production over here at all. Second Banshee, actually third Banshee, trying to get some more damage. Token knows there is a base over here. 2 sentries? Arafire also sending his Stalkers through the map. He's probably gonna be forced to use a Warping defensively or a recall. Banshee gonna get more and more damage. It's 2 probes, it's gonna be more. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Stalker will get an SCV down, trying to cancel this bunker, but the sentries right now are the focus for Togon, and that's probably a good game decision, because 2 sentries are going down, and that's a lot of gas lost for Arrow Fire. These Stalkers finally blink on top of the Banshee, but the Observer wasn't there yet. More probes are going down. This is a killer Banshee for sure. Those 2 Stalkers cannot kill it on their own, so more probes are going down instead. 10. And I think that right now Tokon is gonna be trying to save his Banshee as well, or maybe deal even more damage into the main. There is no Stalker in the main. Those Banshees proving to be extremely deadly. 2 more probes going down, and Tokon can happily let his Banshee die. 24 probes died to 3 Banshees for Arrow Fire. Vastly unprepared for this kind of play. Bunker gonna get salvaged, and Tokon will move out once again with another very strong army, especially if he pulls SCVs, which he's not doing, even if he has how many SCVs he does have. Yeah, he's finally pulling them. I guess so many more than he needs. Here it is. The boys have been pulled. Oh no, they're just being sent over here. Oh, so delusional. Akon, so delusional. Arrowfire is gonna be having a lot of units ready to get on top of the army of his opponent. His Observer scouted everything happening. Tanks are not sieged. An anti-armor missile doesn't get a lot of stuff done, but those tanks get sieged in time to help with killing down the rest of the army of Arrowfire. Those elves trying to sandwich the army of the Terran player that immediately pulls his units back into the Medivac and backs away. Right now, Stalkers trying to get on top of the tanks. Those zealots are gonna be closing the deal. Friendly fire and DPS. It's the call of Arrowfire. The Protoss player looking good once again. Tokon already at 62 workers, preparing his transition, preparing his production. He needs medivacs right now. He needs way more medivacs. Tank style, not very easy to pull off once Arrowfire is gonna be having his key units, unless Tokon manages to get a lot of tanks out, which he already is doing. So it's gonna be a while before Tokon can go again on the aggression. Ghost economy is almost done as well. Arrowfire is gonna get a lot of scouting information, and he's going to try and get some damage as well. Maybe warping in the main just to deflect the attention of his opponent. But it's just gonna be Zealots trying to kill SCVs. And well, Zealots are very good at doing this. But right now, this old position move, not the most clever of things. 5 SCVs have gone down, but also 4 Zealots. No warping can really happen as long as these Marauders are gonna be there. And this War Prism walking a very dangerous path. Steam Marines trying to chase it down, but Arrowfire is gonna be able to save it, to go for further aggression, or maybe to just back it off. Recall gets used. Very safe choice by Arrowfire, but indeed the best choice he could possibly make. Upgrades already in a big advantage for Arrowfire that is just gonna be bigger and bigger. Free upgrade advantage soon to be, well, soon to be 1 actually, but yeah. And Arrowfire just killed a Zealot of his own to make 1 more High Templar. I guess that's something. 3 medivacs going through the map on a parallel line to the army of Arrowfire, instead moving through the map. A single Liberator, a lot of tanks, but is it enough? Actually, 3 Liberators. There aren't a lot of Stalkers. If those Stalkers go down, those Liberators aren't sieged. Tokon needs to find a perfect sieging position. This is not even remotely as perfect as he wants it to be. The tank goes down very easily. Storm is gonna be keeping the Bio army at bay, and right now Liberators are in danger. More Storms gonna be helping with pinning down the army of Tokon on the other side of the map. The free Medivac drop over here, causing an immense amount of damage. One Nexus already gone down. RFI pulled all of his workers, but 27 SCVs have fallen on the side of the Terran player. Right now, RFI has the workers advantage, but the army is in favor of Tokon, still trying to go for the base trade, killing the production of his opponent, killing the upgrades, and now killing one more Nexus. All the pilots are going down one after the other. This War Prism is gonna be trying to get a foothold in the main base of Tokon, but RFI is bleeding from all sides. He needs to go back. 13 probes have gone down as well. Templar Archive stack, pylons, everything is going down for the Protoss player that is gonna lose a chunk of his army as well, because these Medivacs may be out of juice, but those are +2/+2 Bio Marines, and Tokon closes the game with a very intense base trade. And my god, was that a tough decision to make for RFI. And in these scenarios, there isn't really a good way to decide what to do. It's just guts. And it didn't play in favor of the French player. Tokon goes to match point in this best of 5 series by just sending 3 Medivacs full of Marines through the map, and RFI moved out as well at the same time, and it was just overall a tough decision to make for the French player. Yeah, Neo Steel Frame. Facepalm, right? But it is not over yet. RFI can tie up the score and bring this to game number 5. Tokon wants to win this and close out the series. Let's see who's gonna be able to advance to the grand finals. Nerves, of course, playing a very big factor in this series, with the RFI failing to make the good decision in a very important moment. This could very much be a burden on his nerves. But let's see if he's gonna be able to shake this away, to snap out of it and play the game number 4 he needs to bring this to the game number 5 and get his own match point. He is in the bottom right hand side corner on Simulacrum. He is RFI. In the top left hand side, instead, the red Polish Terran trying to go to the grand finals. He is at match point. He needs this victory. He is Tokon. Well, Tokon, you got a fan. Looks like you got a fan. It could very well be your first fan. Simulacrum, one of the newer maps. I'd say it is a map that most players actually like. There is a very weird center area full of bridges and open areas. Then there are these side. What is this, Tokon? Tokon scouting for proxies. Yes, this is also very good on a proxy map. It's very similar to Acropolis in a way. It's just most people say it's just a smaller Acropolis with a very open center area that is very tough to get a foot on, with instead a lot of very safe bases to get until they are not longer safe. Like once you go to your 4th base, things start to not work out, because either you go to this base and it's incredibly far away, and also rocks over here, Either you go to this one that is incredibly open. And, well, we have a proxy. So, I was wrong. There was a proxy in this series. But Togon is actually actively scouting for one. And, oh my god, he will miss it. RFI finding the perfect spot to put down the robotics facility in the center of the map. And it's gonna be 2 robotics facilities. And Togon is in real danger if he doesn't find out what is coming to him. Because these could also very well be just shield batteries over here, with a Warp Prism and 2 Immortals trying to get here. Or this could be just Immortals and Stalkers trying to get a ton of damage supported by a Warp Prism. Could be either of those. And both those plays are very deadly. Togon trying to find the proxy everywhere on the map, trying to find the second pylon. He will never find in time. He's gonna be proxying a starport of his own to maybe send a Banshee in the base of Arrowfire and try to get some more damage before his opponent can close out the game. This Reaper desperately trying to see where the second pylon is, and he will not find it. This game is getting very intense. Double Hellion. So this could also be just a Medivac drop with Hellions. Let's see if he's gonna be adding a Tech Lab or just producing a Medivac. Yes, this is gonna be Hellions over here. But this one Adept already getting a lot of scouting information. If he can get on top of the ramp, Togon trying to hide his Hellions. He's gonna be trying to, but the reactor, oh gosh, he showed them. Arrowfire knows this is gonna be Hellions, and Hellions are not very good against Immortals, that's for sure. Hellions gonna be chasing down the Adept. Stalkers are not at the ready to prevent the drop from coming. But there are 2 gateways. Oh my god, Warp Gate is not done. Medivac is out. This is gonna be another base trade because Warp Gate is just finished right now. First warping needs to be used, but there is no pylon over here. It needs to be used over there. So it's gonna be a fight of reflexes. A lot of probes are going down, that's for sure. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, 2 Immortals wreaking havoc in the base of Togon. Togon meanwhile killed 20 probes. Almost all of the economy of Arrowfire has gone down. Right now those aliens trying to fight Stalkers, they will not win this fight. Or will they? I'm not even sure. Meanwhile on the other side of the map, SCV is trying to surround those Immortals. But the Warp Prism is juggling them away while getting a ton of kills. The Hellions won the fight versus the Stalkers. And right now, one more Stalker is gonna be finishing the deal for, oh my god, Predator Probe. He got a heal. On the other side of the map, Togon finally gets his first tank out, but he doesn't repair it, he just goes down. Immortals were surrounded, but at what cost? Not enough damage has been dealt on top of those. The Immortals are still trying to get as much damage as possible, and right now, Arrowfire also sacrificing one to get the better end of the deal. Actually, did he sacrifice one? I'm not even sure. He didn't sacrifice one, he saved all of his Immortals right here. Togon desperately trying to hold into this game after dealing an immense amount of damage. But right now, the Warp Prism is adding Stalkers to the fight. Immortals are gonna be also retrieving their shields, and Togon is just not mining. This Widowman is going down. The observer was at the ready. 29 SCVs. There is nothing mining, just 14 SCVs over here just being added. And the production of Togon is under attack right now. Arrowfire has the ramp. Arrowfire has the main base. Units have to be pulled by Togon, but as long as his Warp Prism survives, the fight can never go in favor of the Terran player. The Viking trying to do his best to keep it down. He will eventually kill it, but right here, this game is not really going in favor of Togon. There are no LCV mining right now, and there is nothing in the fight for the Terran player. Everything is down. Last single worker was a mule. Arafire ties the score. It's gonna be game number 5 to decide who advances to the grand finals. And there is a better way to actually have a series? I don't think so. 5th map in a best of 5 game is peak StarCraft, guys. Yeah, I take those moments just to recover my voice after a game. So, what to say? Fail scouting, good proxy, and just dealing more damage than your opponent's proxy. That's Protoss in a nutshell. If your proxy doesn't get scouted, it's very, very hard for the opposing player to actually pull up a fight. So I'm going to try this best, but War Prism and Immortals are a very, very dynamic duo. Let's give it at that. Game number 5, it's gonna be on Zen. Many Marines. Actually, coaching Togon. Here we are, guys. Last game for these first semifinals of today. On the top right hand side corner of Zen. He's young, he is French. He is very good. He is Arrowfire. In the bottom left hand side, it's instead a red Polish Terran. Tough game number 4 for him. After failing to scout a proxy, he's gonna be trying to do his best to advance in the finals. He is Tokon. Will we see a proxy this time as well? I'm not sure. I mean, Zen is a good proxy for stuff like this. Over here. Like shield batteries over here. But not for much else. Good Reaper map, that's one thing. Not that he actually is too much of a factor in his matchup. So Arrowfire finally sending a probe through the map to get some scouting. Oh, actually no. Actually it's not even scouting. Arrowfire confidently thinking that his opponent is not going for any kind of early game aggression, knowing he's just gonna go for the accustomed plan. He's just gonna probably go for a scouting with his adept. And he's gonna be expanding as well. Pylon in the natural, soon to be made as well. And yeah, this is a weird map for many reasons, but the Reaper will make it through the map very quickly, as well as the adept. But the path is very narrow. So finally Reaper is done. Togon will get in scouting information he's looking for. He's probably gonna be thinking, why did Arrowfire not scout my base with the probe? So he's probably gonna be afraid of a proxy, but it takes way less time of trying to find out if there is a second pylon in your opponent base than it takes to actually scout actively for proxies. Unless you're Zerg, of course, because overload are hella slow. But here it is, the second pylon, it's over there. Togon trying to blindside this one adept to get away and maybe get even more damage. Maybe try to kill down a probe. He will not manage to do so without sacrificing his Reaper, but it looks like he wants to do it. Oh my gosh, Shade didn't follow the Reaper closely enough, so one probe goes down, but the Reaper of Tokon is gonna be scouting even more. This wall is closed, no way to sky through here. But Tokon is just thinking of his next move behind it, and Arrowfire is gonna be scouting with the Adept. Actually, he sees the Reaper, he cancels the Shade, not gonna be scouting yet. Tokon really blindsiding his opponent with this Reaper. Not something you see that often. Oh gosh, he's gonna survive still. What a dangerous game this Reaper is playing. Oh my god, Tokon still microing his Reaper. He's gonna be Widowmined in a Medivac, guys. If Tokon manages to get a lot of damage with it, the game will go definitely in his favor. Finally, Arrowfire gonna go for some scouting of his own. He's gonna see the Widowman, he's gonna see the Medivac in production, and he's gonna try also to get a kill on top of an SCV. He will do it, actually. He will get a kill on an SCV. Actually, it's 2 SCVs down. He also got a kill in the natural. This Adept is going down, but not without good scouting information, and I can't believe this Reaper is still alive. How it is still alive. That is basically perfect information for Tokon all game long. He's also gonna delay the expansion of Arrowfire. That's unbelievable. Tokon has intel on everything happening in a map, in a side of the map of his opponent, thanks to a Reaper. That's absolutely the best possible transition a Terran player can hope for into his drop. Because he knows what's happening, he knows where are the weak spots, he knows where to try and get some damage. And this Reaper over here also gonna get more scouting information. He's gonna see the timing on the third base. Stalkers are out of position to stop the Widowmine drop. Arrowfire not reacting super quickly over here, because he's still trying to get the Reaper. Tokon finally deciding to sacrifice his Reaper, but the reaction on the probes is instead very good. Just 2 of them are falling down. Right now, it is the Stalkers that are gonna be finishing down the Widowmines with blink action. But the Medivac still safe and sound, gonna be getting away and be ready to heal some bio when it is needed. Charge is the next step of Arrowfire's play. He's 6 Stalkers, so 60 to 9 Stalkers. No pun intended, I swear, no pun intended. To try and get some damage, but it's very hard to walk on top of this ramp on Zen. This one Marine is also gonna be seeing the Stalkers moving forward. One Marine, it will go down. And right now those Stalkers can get some damage without blinking back. Arrowfire decides to sacrifice one of his Stalkers to finish down the Medivac that was posing a problem before. Third base of Tokon being dropped at the middle location, so this is a very dangerous spot for Tokon. He needs to keep it alive, that's for sure. Those Stalkers not really actually did realize there was a base being dropped over there, but they didn't commit to try and get a delay on top of it. There is a lot of stuff out of for Tokon already, and right now the Terran player could also go for a double drop with his 2 Medivacs freshly made. Arrowfire, charge almost done. He's gonna be trying to push the upgrades forward this game as well. A +1 already done for Tokon. He's gonna be adding a 2nd NG base soon, and a 4th base. Actually, no, it's just the 3rd base as before. So it's 3 no, yeah, it's 2 Medivacs. The rest of the army can deal with the Stalkers. Those 2 Widowmines especially can force some blinks. But with the Medivac out, those Marines can steam and just get good trades. This goes the Karami, is gonna be delayed by a little bit with a kill of this one SCV. But Tokon can just steam forward and shoot away those Zealots, those Stalkers for good. Meanwhile, the Terran player gonna be trying to get some damage of his own. These are a lot of Zealots. Once again, Arrowfire is gonna be trying to go for a timing attack with his upgrades, adding some Storm in a Warp Prism as well as in the first 3 games. Tokon waiting for the perfect moment to strike. He's gonna be sending this one Marine to check where the army is and what it is made of. RFI adding 5 more Zealots, +2/+2 upgrades on the way. But Shockwave, MPM, what? This is a weird timing. 5th game 8 minute for the first Good Luck Have Fun of the series. That's interesting. Let's give it at that. Both players have a lot of scouting through the map. RFI is gonna be seeing everything coming with these Zealots, observers. Tokon also has this Marine over here. He still has his double Medivacs, ready to get some damage. When RFI moves out, that's exactly what Tokon is waiting for with his Marines in position. He just wants to know when RFI will move out to try and strike with his Medivacs, trying to keep his opponent at bay, trying to get some damage, maybe try to repeat game number 3 trade. And right now the timing for RFI is ready. This is the perfect moment for him to strike. He's +2/+2, almost done. Storm almost done. He has the War Prism. And he has a couple storms at the ready. This one Marine will try to stop this Nexus from coming for a little bit of time. Tokon meanwhile also adding some upgrades of his own, more barracks, more Medivacs, more ghosts with Shockwave EMP done as well. That's gonna be a tough fight for RFI if he decides to commit and lose a lot of stuff back home, because the production of Tokon is actually incredibly good right now. Like, he's not even here. It's like 3 more racks over here with 3 Techlets. Also 2 Liberators at a time. Finally Tokon decides to go for his drop, trying to get a cancel on this Nexus, but he will instead get a kill. That's a very, very big mistake by RFI, who gets 400 minerals in the toilet flush. A lot of probes are gonna be long distance mining over here. Tokon of course committed a lot of units, but he has the production, he has the bank, he's also making a 4th base. He has everything he needs to replace those units immediately without breaking a sweat. Zealot's gonna be trying to get some damage off their own, but this single Widowmine is gonna wreak havoc, that's for sure. Second Widowmine also gonna get a shot real soon. Those Zealots didn't do anything. 1 Marine, 1 Widowmine have fallen in this engagement. Widowmines full of energy, a lot of Liberators, a strong Terran army over here. Upgrades are gonna be a factor in favor of RFI in this fight, but this time is about Storm. Yeah, that's a lot of Zealot, that's for sure. Finally Colossi join the fray. RFI needs his Storms, he needs his splash damage, and then he needs to finish the army of Tokon with those Colossi, but those Marauders are in perfect position to face down a lot of punishment. This photon cannon not gonna be helping for a lot of time. The army of RFI is moving. 2 Colossi are at the ready. Blink is done, but this Nexus is down as well. Guardian Shield helping against those Liberators shot. That's a lot of Zealots, as someone said in the chat, but they moved a little bit too forward. Without the support of the Colossi, without the Storms, those Zealots can do nothing. Tokon getting a lot of damage for free. RFI replacing his army, but the bank is in favor of the Terran player, and he knows he got the damage he was looking for. Liberator range on the way for Tokon, who wants to establish even a more forward sieging position. And well, both players are maxed out. RFI is recovering some of the lost bank, but over here another drop is gonna be causing a lot of damage. The army of RFI is vastly out of position. He needs to use some warping defensively. The upgrade is gonna be denied. Just 1 second before finishing. Perfect deny by Tokon, who forces a recall of some units and just gets away with his medivacs. Perfect play by Tokon, forcing some of the army of Arafire to move out actually, but his defensive position is very strong over here. Scanning forward to check where the army of his opponent is. Those two Liberators gonna be blocking the ramp completely in a moment. Arafire tries to go on top of the ramp, but he knows he can't. Tokon doesn't even need EMPs to actually face this army right now. Both forges have gone down and oh my god, the War Prism with 4 High Templars with full energy gone down immediately. Tokon doing his homeworks. He didn't repeat the mistakes in the other games. He didn't allow his opponent to freely storm his army with High Templars in the War Prism, and he decided instead to go for Vikings to face Colossi and to deny the War Prism, and that's exactly what he did. Colossi cannot walk close and the War Prism is down. The only way to fight this for Arafire is Disruptors, but Tokon already has his Liberators out. This looks like the perfect spot for the Terran player to be in, and one Liberator also gonna be causing a lot of economical damage over here. Tokon scanning, meanwhile, to see the movement of the army of his opponent, but 8 probes have gone down. 9... no, there was a Zealot. 8 probes gone down at the cost of one single Liberator. How many command centers does Tokon have? It's 4 orbital commands, so he can use those scans basically for free right now. Having 71 workers and a bank already doesn't really need those mules. Arafire needs to make something happen. He has the bank in his favor, yes, but he's losing on all fronts. Every single run by he does is wasted units. He lost a lot of key units, and finally, the play we were waiting for, Dark Shrine, gets added by Arafire. That's one way for the Protoss player to get back into this game, but is he in time? He needs time. That's for sure. Vikings gonna be sniping down the War Prism again! And that's a big deal for Arafire, who's gonna be facing this army without Storm. Disruptor is the only splash damage cast option for Arafire, with this Colossi being constantly under fire of the Vikings. Stalkers trying to get on top of the Liberators, but they bleed forward a little bit too much. EMP gets on top of the most of the army, and those Vikings are just wreaking havoc on top of the Colossi. One of them already down. The rest of the army of Arafire is soon to follow. The Disruptors are the only saving grace, but also them are under fire. More EMPs are gonna be finished down the deal. EMPs on top of the High Templars to avoid Storm from coming. A lot of the army of Tokon has gone down, but Arafire has got nothing right here. He also trying to warp in some unit desperately. He's gonna be trying to hold, but the skin of his teeth blinking forward on top of his Liberators. Those Stalkers are his last saving grace. Tokon not even wasting more of his EMPs. The supply is 180 in favor of Tokon to 77 for Arafire. Also behind him workers, and finally Tokon found the fight he was looking for. Tokon also scanning to see what's happening on the other side of the map, but right now Arafire has got nothing going on for him. It doesn't have the economy to support a proper army production with mostly for the gas. The gas is lacking, so he's just making more and more zealots over here to reinforce his army, but Tokon already has his 1-2 double punch play. Terra never stops, Tokon never stops. EMPs soon are going to be on top of this army, on top of the High Templars, on top of everything. Arafire army is no more. Tokon advances to Grand Finals. And that was exactly the way that Tokon was looking to play this game, denying any possible play for Arafire. Everything that was good against him before this one game actually played in favor of Tokon, because he had the perfect answer for all the plays of Arafire. Warp Prism being denied twice, full of High Templars. That's... I don't even know how much minerals and gas it is. It's like 600 gas lost twice in a row and just a bunch of minerals gone down before a big fight, and that's something you cannot make happen as the Protoss player. Tokon able to, well, not even figuratively, handling the storm and finish down his opponent at game number 5. So he's gonna be the first grand finalist, while Arafire is gonna be playing instead in the third place match. But let's see, guys, we have another semifinals at the ready. This time it's gonna be a Protoss versus Zerg, Kingslayer versus Instinct. Let's go on game number 1 on Disco Bloodbath. No, this is not the bracket. If someone can link the bracket. Oh, wait a moment. Yeah, thank you very much. Also, there is one thing that is not correct in the bracket. Arafire advanced against a mage through a walkover. So that's why it's missing over there. But yeah. We're in the other semifinals for today. Here on Disco Bloodbath. On the left hand side, the light pink Protoss player. He is Kingslayer. On the right hand side instead, one of the most aggressive Zergs you've ever find. In yellow is Instinct. And Disco Bloodbath is a good map for Nidus. That's my call, guys. You're gonna see some Nidus play here. That's what I think. Kingslayer needs to be on top of his scouting. While Instinct... Also, guys, please don't play as yellow and light pink. Like, things are so easily mistakeable in the middle of the map. This looks pink over here. So Instinct not going for anything off the book as of now. He's gonna be adding his spawning pool soon after his archery and extractor. Kingslayer not even getting a gateway scout. Just being content on the fact that Disco Bloodbath is so huge. It actually doesn't need that amount of scouting. So energy score soon gonna be dropped after the Nexus. Kingslayer bargaining a little bit on the fact that his opponent is not going for an early pull, but it's gonna be working to his favor as of now. Everything going according to plan for both those guys. Instinct also a little bit of a fancy micro with his drone over here to avoid it from going into the main. Kingslayer finally getting some scouting information, but he just saw the hatchery up and went away. It's gonna be a Stargate opener for the Protoss player. One of the most common way to play this matchup for sure, with a double or triple Oracle with a Phoenix next to it to try and get some damage, with also a double Adept play that could also get a lot of damage. This could also be evolving into a Resonating Glaives game if Kingslayer decides to pull the trigger on those Adepts even more. And now Zerglings trying to... oh gosh. First a Phoenix. I'm curious to see if another Phoenix is gonna be joining the fray, as we saw in Zest versus Impact semifinals of Alpha X Christmas Showdown. I don't know if you saw that match. If you didn't, that's a very, very good series. I actually suggest you watching. You can also watch it in Winter's replay cast of yesterday. But this one Phoenix is just gonna deny some scouting, gonna lift a queen or two to allow the oracles to do the damage. So it's gonna be oracles indeed for Kingslayer. Not gonna be making more Phoenixes, not gonna be making more adepts as well. These two, actually it's 3 adepts right now. I'm curious to see if we're gonna see a Twilight Council. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Instinct being kinda prepared. He has a Spore Crawler in the main. He's gonna be adding one in the natural and fur base as well, of course. With his Evo Chamber already researching last one melee before anything else. Instinct definitely has something in mind. Not a lair inside, not a Banelin's Nest as well. Those 2 adepts are not gonna get a lot of damage though. They're gonna die with just 2 drones going down. They saw the Evo Chamber, so Dex and scouting, and they deflected the attention of Instinct a little bit. But Kingslayer is not diving on top of those queens, that's for sure. This Phoenix can handle some punishment, lose the shield before getting away probably. Kingslayer, okay, he wants to die for that Overload, but doesn't manage to get it. 7 HPs is the remaining grace of this Overload, but right now it definitely looks like Kingslayer decided instead to pull down the trigger on the Phoenixes, +1 upgrade, and 2 Phoenixes being produced at a time. This is gonna be a mass Phoenix style. Against Roach Warren and a lair, Instinct is gonna be trying to get some damage of his own, probably gonna be placing down the Banelin Nest in a bit as well to time it with the lair so that they can start Banelin speed immediately. With +1 being done for him, those Zerglings actually can pull up a fight, but they cannot pull up a fight against Phoenixes. Instinct needs more queens, 5, not what he wants to have. Kingslayer gonna be having 7 Phoenixes shortly. These links also gonna be stopping the Zealots from getting more scouting information, and Kingslayer cleverly placing his units where he needs them to be to make Instinct think is not gonna be going deeper into Phoenix play, which is exactly what he's doing. Banelin Nest being dropped down, light reconstitution, more roaches. Instinct is just playing a very defensive game with just a lot of upgrades. Last 2 melee gonna be adding. This Oracle is gonna be allowing this fur base to go up. And yeah, how many Phoenixes is 10 Phoenixes up for Kingslayer. Also gonna be adding a Twilight Council and a Forge. Those links just trying desperately to try and get a cancel on top of this, maybe force some more energy from the Oracle. And just being content with that +1 upgrade. Of course, those Zerglings are very, very tough, very, very strong. Instinct has a very good quick spread right now, also getting a 4th base, but it doesn't really have defense against these many Phoenixes. Never got a scouting of his own in the base of his opponent. He just doesn't know what's happening. And this could very well kill him in a moment, because Immortals are gonna be the follow-up of Instinct right now, of Kingslayer, sorry, right now. The Protoss player is finally moving out with all of his Phoenixes. Instinct is gonna be knowing right now, Infestation Pit immediately dropped, not even a Spire inside, a lot of Queens are going down shortly. Those are +1 Phoenixes, those Overlords are in real danger, and more drones are gonna be lifted. The economy of Instinct is in very, very much trouble. With more Overlords falling down, Instinct had already a lot of them prepared, and a little bit of the laser play with Overlords. And finally Instinct moves through the map to try and get a killing blow. He saw these many Phoenixes, he thinks he can end the game. There are no shield batteries, just one over here. But Instinct doesn't have a lot of army of his own either. He doesn't have Ravagers. Those Phoenixes are instead ravaging his economy, getting kills on top of the Overlords. And Instinct decides not to go on top of this ramp. It will be a disaster for him. And Kingslayer is already making it very, very rough for the third player. 3 Spore Crawlers in every base, and with 15 SCVs being killed, 15 drones being killed, and 1 queen, Kingslayer recalls back home with his Phoenixes. Also lifting Zerglings. Not exactly what he wants to do, but... This one over here, gonna get killed. Kingslayer is gonna deny more scouting information right now, after giving a lot of it up until this moment. Instinct has to make a lot of decisions right now. He's gonna be diving into Hydras with Groovy Spines in production. But right now, Kingslayer wants to thin out the numbers of the army of his opponent to try and go for a push of his own once his stuff is ready. Hive is on the way instead for Instinct. He's not losing a lot of stuff, he's losing mostly workers, and he's trying to replace them as quick as possible. Instinct is safely hugging his archeries. But will he be able to handle what's coming at him? These are a lot of immortals. And those, oh my god, Hydras are in danger as well. Gonna be lifting those. And these are, as I said, +1 Phoenixes. They kill Hydras very, very quickly. More Overlords are gonna fall. And finally, Instinct is supply blocked after making 1,000,000 Overlords in the early game. And he's gonna be supply blocked for quite a while, because Kingslayer isn't yet stopping. Well, he's not supply blocked anymore, actually. But Kingslayer is just not stopping. His army is very strong right now. He can go for a killing blow, but he decides instead to go for a 4th phase of his own, while keeping on the kills with his Phoenixes right now. Those units are also expendable, because Kingslayer has to focus on more important stuff. 3 more gateways being added. His economy is the focus. And right now, 4 Archons, 5 Immortals, a ton of Charge Lots, 2 Sentries are probably enough to end the game. Instinct doesn't have a lot of his own over here, as you can see. The army of the Zerg player will very easily die to the one of Kingslayer, alongside those Phoenixes helping. Still a lot of energy on those, by the way. More scouting denied, more Overseers killed. And the efficiency these Phoenixes have had through the game is just insane. Look at the amount of resources lost for Kingslayer, that also had, for Instinct, that also had to replace all of these fallen drones, while making a ton of Spore Crawlers that he has pretty much everywhere. Like 13 Spore Crawlers, one here, here. Just Spore Crawlers everywhere. While being lacking of a proper army. Of course, 5 Vipers are gonna be dealing with the Phoenixes very easily, but how many Abducts you can have at the ready? How many Blinding Clouds can stop these Immortals? Will he have enough? I definitely not think so. +3 upgrades soon to kick in. Raider Spire is gonna be the play of Instinct if he can get to that before the army of Kingslayer moves out. He can get a lot of Broodlords, and Broodlords will definitely kill this army down with Parasitic Cloud as well. But Instinct decides instead to move out. He's maxed out. There is no need for him to stay back home. He's gonna be trying to kill his opponent on 2 different sides. Those High Templars are very much in danger. They will go down. Those are almost +3 Cracklings. And the army of Kingslayer is right now gonna be engaging in a very favorable position. The army of Instinct is instead in very much danger. Archons in high numbers can kill this army easily, and Instinct didn't have the best decision ever moving out after losing that much. So it's gonna be an advantage for the Protoss player after playing a very, very aggressive Phoenix double Stargate style. And this is something that is rising in popularity once again after being vastly absent in 2019, sorry, and being actually one of the most used strategies in this matchup in 2018 instead. We finally are seeing some of it back, and I can say that it's one very, very interesting strat to play. With a proper follow-up as the one Kingslayer had, Instinct didn't stand a chance, and a lot of lacking in scouting has proven to be a little bit too deadly for him. But let's see if he manages to get a tie in the score in map number 2. It's gonna be on Winter's Gate. Here we are, first time we see this map today in a bottom right hand corner. Winning game 1, the light pink Protoss. He is Kingslayer. On the top left hand side instead, as the yellow Zerg. He needs to tie up the score. He is Instinct. So as I said, Instinct really likes to go for some aggression. He also just cancelled the drone. Well, he didn't make it on purpose, that's for sure, because there was one drone too many. But right now, it looks like he wants to go for the macros of plays. Just drops down an archery at 16. Gonna be dropping his archery and extractor and spawning pool shortly after. While Kingslayer this time gonna go for a gateway scout. Just to check his opponent, he's not playing anything too fancy. Gonna see the archery. Gonna know he can drop his Nexus without having too much of a hustle. Spawning pool slightly delayed, that's a 120 spawning pool, a little bit on the late side, that's for sure. But yeah, Instinct has a quite weird lack of drones, but he's replacing them right now. Kingslayer gonna be content with his scouting, drop down his Nexus, drop the cybernetic score. Also Instinct gonna be knowing shortly the timing of the buildings of his opponent, knowing there is not something too aggressive coming. Why the sound of the music is so low? Better. Finally, also Instinct gets some scouting information, but it is Stalker first for Kingslayer, who wants to deny as much scouting information as possible. And that's already a very interesting choice. Is actually forfeiting on an early scout for an early lair timing to just get it done with the scouting of his opponent. It is a minor choice, but it still choices in the early game can end up actually playing a lot in the late game. This overload is also going down. Instinct didn't quite have one prepared. He's gonna be supply blocked for a bit. Gonna be making two at a time. With his OV speed on the way, he's gonna be trying to rely more on scouting this game compared to the one before. Shield battery is already being placed down by Kingslayer, who didn't make the best wall of his life, that's for sure. Having to place a pylon over here, he needs this shield battery to avoid a Baneling bus from messing up his day. Both upgrades, as you can see, are soon to be finished for Instinct, who wants to start a lair as soon as he has the gas as well. Gonna be shortly. But finally, the Zerg player can get some proper scouting information and see that this was a Twilight Council opener with charge and robotics facility being added after. This almost looks like the Mercury, guys. Oh my god, this looks exactly like the Mercury. Instinct sees no probes on gas, sees the charge lot upgrade, sees the robotics facility. He's gonna be thinking, oh my god, not this again. 6 more gateways added down by Kingslayer. And we're finally in this, guys. This is a Marjorie. This is a Zealot with charge all in. A very interesting play indeed. That's why Kingslayer wanted to deny as much information as possible to drop down safely that Twilight Council, but right now the feat is over. Instinct knows what's coming. He's gonna be making roaches non-stop. Not gonna be adding spine crawlers, those do not help a lot. He definitely needs Ravagers, he definitely needs more Queens to smack down the Warp Prism and block it from just sending relentlessly Zealots to the base of his opponent. But right now, the play of Kingslayer is through instinct. Gonna also follow the movements of this one Warp Prism that's moving a little bit too fast ahead. And in Kingslayer, big micro sleep. This Warp Prism is going down. His play is completely killed by just this. Those Zealots are not gonna be doing anything over here. The Warp Prism must survive with this push. There is no way you can do this without a Warp Prism. More Zealots are gonna be produced, but this is the key point of his build. Chrono boosting it. Big mistake for the Light Pink Protoss, who has to wait even more before trying to go for his push. But there are gonna be more Roaches, more Workers, more Queens, more of everything. Will this work in favor of the Protoss player, even with such a big mistake being done by him? He's still making a lot of Zealots. Lair started by instinct, a little bit of greedy play, but he has a lot of Roaches to enforce his ranks, with Queens ready to snipe down the Warp Prism once again. He doesn't have Ravagers, that's probably a little mistake, but Charge doesn't deal impact damage anymore. So this build is slightly weaker than it used to be, but these are still a lot of Zealots. Finally some Ravagers being morphed for the Zerg player, but right now the play can begin once again for Kingslayer. Zealots trying to get as much surface as possible, but those units are tied up in a quite nice spot. Warp Prism in the main, trying to go for the economy of his opponent instead and for the army, because the army was too tucked up in that spot. Those Zealots could not get surface. Some drones are going down, but Kingslayer doesn't have a lot of stuff going on for him. The lair is the new focus of these Zealots, but they will not be able to kill it before the army of... Oh my god, instinct, move your army up there. Lings and Roaches are gonna be keeping it alive, as well as drones, but just barely. 100 HPs standing. Those Zealots still trying to get some more damage, but Kingslayer doesn't really have anything back home. He doesn't have gas, he doesn't have anything. This Warp Prism still sending waves of charge loads, maybe to try and finish the lair, but they got surrounded. Finally they can charge on top of the lair, and the lair is down. Some tiny bits of damage have been dealt by Kingslayer, but how must he survive the next counter attack? But as a player, this I do not know, because if Instinct moves through the map right now, the game is over for sure. Kingslayer trying to remake probes after not making them for a lot of time. He's gonna be behind in workers, he's gonna be having no army at all. His Warp Prism survived, yes, but was it worth? He will still be trying to be on the map to get some more damage maybe, and scout the movements of the army of Instinct that also is restarting the lair. He's not gonna lose his spawning pool because this archer is gonna be up in time. The Warp Prism once again under attack. Those Zealots are too bruised to be proving a shield tank for the Warp Prism. One more mob pin in the main, trying to deny a little bit of economy, trying to deny this archery from going up. But Instinct is not even preparing his counter attack. After holding so convincingly, he needs to bite back. Warp Prism will not get through here. Too many units are waiting for a Warp Pin over there. Those Queens trying to snipe it down will not be in position in time. But Instinct has his foothold over here, and there is no way Kingslayer can break it. As of now, 2 Immortals, a third one to join, yes. But Instinct has the tech, he has the economy, he has everything he needs to make this work. This one Overload also gonna get full scouting once again before getting away. Overload speed, such a good value upgrade. Kingslayer also supply blocked, because he had to kill the pylon that was blocking his wall of completely. And right now Kingslayer is also trying to move for the map, and right now it's gonna be 17 banelings, a bunch of Roaches and Ravagers, more lanes. Everything looks in favor of Instinct. Only a disaster will make this game go to the side of the Protoss player. And this doesn't look like it's coming. Wintergate is an extremely hard map to push into. These are a lot of zealots, yes, but look at those banelings trying to work forward. And a lot of banelings are gonna be guarding crazy good detonations on top of the zealots. Right now, force fields working against the Protoss player more than in his favor. Immortals are still up, but more of the army of Instinct is joining the fray immediately. 26 more links are in production. Those Ravagers are the only line that's standing between Kingslayer and Instinct, but the reinforcements are up. And those Immortals are no good versus these many lanes trying to get us around. They go on top of all of the army. The Ravagers cannot join the fight though, so the army of Kingslayer can just get lifted on side the Warp Prism and get away. It looks like Kingslayer is doing it regardless of what has happened in the early game. There is not a lot of production, not a lot of injects going on for Instinct that had 2 archers for too long. He didn't have the production. Kingslayer, without even managing to do damage with his all-in, it's gonna be getting so much mining time, so much damage. The Warp Prism is still alive, he's still microing those Immortals. Finally, the Warp Prism goes down, and those drones can get us around of the Immortals. The all-in of Kingslayer is done, but at what cost for Kingslayer, for Instinct? So much mining time, so much of his army is down. Instinct has to prepare a counterattack, has to do something, has to place down one more archery. He needs his production, he needs his archery injected. He needs to have more than his opponent for what's to come. Is Baneling Speed done, by the way? Yes, it is, finally. With Baneling Speed and also an Evo Chamber immediately being added, Instinct gonna have a very much stronger army to deal with his opponent. Kingslayer just making more and more sentries to help those Immortals staying alive, but those are very bruised Immortals. Finally, 4th Archery gets added by Instinct at the 12-minute mark, but this time it looks like Kingslayer doesn't have even remotely enough. His Warp Prism is finally ready to help reinforce this army. But how many Banelings are out? 15 with 7 more to be added. 9 Ravagers, 4 Roaches, a bunch of Queens. With 5 Ravagers, 4 Spirits are not gonna be a factor for too long. Finally, those rocks are... oh, they will not go down actually. Zealots join the fray. Those Banelings need to get a perfect surround. Instinct needs to spread his army, or the reinforcements of Kingslayer will close out this game without perfect Baneling connections. And that's what he's doing. Finally, Instinct ready to face the Protoss army exactly how he needs to face it, trying to engage it in a very open area. But those force fields block a lot of the army of Instinct out. Finally, the engagement can begin. Banelings finding a hard time getting on top of the army, but it's just too many of them. Roaches and Ravagers getting a perfect concave. The Warp Prism will not go down. One of the bias was slightly misplaced, but there's still so many Ravagers, so many Queens. 26 more lanes are gonna be joining, and it looks like Kingslayer is out of this game. Immortals falling down, the Warp Prism is down, GG gets called. Instinct ties up the score. And that was an intense game to cast, that's for sure. May have slipped here and there, but it looks like the failed all-in by Kingslayer with the Marjorie in the early game proved to be a little bit too much of a loss for him. And he never managed to quite get back from it, even after dealing that much damage with the second follow-up. There was still, even with a better hold, like even just having to pull drones and barely holding, Instinct just had too much economy and just a little bit too much tech for Kingslayer to actually be able to close out the game with the third push. The idea was good, a lot of sentries, adding Zealots just after that, allowing those sentries to collect the energy you needed for a wall of force fields. But overall there were just too many Ravagers, too many Banelings, too much stuff for Instinct, and he was able to close out the game. Hello Dragon Soul. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Here we are, game number 3 of this best of 5 semifinals. On the bottom right hand side, actually on the bottom right hand corner of Ephemeron, the light pink Protoss just failing a Marjorie. He is Kingslayer, former Code A finalist. In the top left hand corner, instead, the yellow Zerg. Our newcomer in Alpha X, he is Instinct. Can someone please link the correct bracket? Yeah, thank you Sushi. Thank you boss. Oh. What do we have here? Instinct mixing it up, finally. This is an early pool going on for him. And that's not a 16 pool. That's a 12 pool. Actually maybe a 14 pool, not even sure. Kingslayer knows there is still no archery over there. He's gonna be very suspectful. Finally Pylon gets added as well to force Instinct to expand at his fur base location. Kingslayer gonna find out this spawning pool already being there. And he's gonna be preparing Cybernetics Core before the Nexus. Gonna be standard Protoss defensive play. With this brave drone following the probe to avoid it from blazing a proxy without it being scouted, Kingslayer gonna complete his wall off. Not a full wall off, of course, but he's gonna complete it so that he just needs one zealot over there to block the links from coming into his base. Instinct, is he gonna take his third archery right here, right now? Yes, he is. He just did whatever he wanted, gonna be having a third archery up very soon, forcing his opponents into making units, forcing his opponent a little bit back by just having the threat of a 16 pool, of a 12 pool, sorry, being there, not even gonna send those links through the map. He knows he forced his opponent into this wall off, and he knows his links can never get the damage he wants to get there. More queens are probably gonna be the next thing adding in the ranks of Instinct, and yes, that's what he's doing. But it looks like Kingslayer is looking to get some damage of his own as well. Double Adept being produced with a Talent Council behind it, and this may very well be a Resonating Glaze timing attack, something that Kingslayer really likes to do. Right now, 2 Adepts shading through the map to get a little bit of damage, more Adepts in production for Kingslayer. So it is gonna be an Adept timing. Overlord's gonna see Kingslayer's Adepts moving through the map. But will those 2 guys deal damage? There are no queens, there are a couple of lanes here and there. Not a lot of drones will go down, but a lot of scouting will happen for Kingslayer. He's gonna be safely shading into this main, denying a lot of mining time for his opponent, and he can just shade back and maybe save his Adepts once he thinks he has enough damage being dealt. Those Adepts are not gonna survive though. Lanes got too much surface, and they will go down at the cost of just 2 drones. Resonating Glaze on the way for the Protoss player. Looks like my call was correct after all, but Instinct will not stop his scouting. He has a lot of links, he needs to do something with them. This probe will go down. There are 4 Adepts over here. Kingslayer trying to hide a couple. And right now, Instinct checking for a fur base that will never come up. Because this timing is looking to end the game for Kingslayer. Will it though? I'm not even that sure. Finally, all the speed gets started for Instinct that he needs to see what's happening. Those adepts are well hidden in the behind of the natural base of Kingslayer, and the Protoss player can safely add even more of those. And that's just a bunch already. 9 adepts walking through the map. Resident Evil is almost done. Roach Warren not even halfway through. A lot of damage is bound to be taken by Instinct that needs to pair this storm, needs to take as less damage as possible. Those lanes scouted. The movement of the adepts. 8 more lanes are in production, but lanes will not fight these adepts in the way that Instinct wants it to. The wall is not completely up, and yes, now it is. Good call by Instinct that decided to keep his drones and forfeit the Roach Warren and the archery over here in favor of saving up his economy. But right now the shades are coming back again into the natural of Instinct, and that's a lot of adepts in the play of Instinct right now. Not the best he was looking for. More. Actually, this is old Resident Evil, so yeah, the timer on the top of them means they can have a faster attack once they shade through. It looks like Kingslayer is not even super committing into this. A Recall gonna try to save most of them, and it's actually gonna save all of them, because meanwhile, back home, how did 2 probes die? Actually, this little Ling over here killed 4 probes. Gosh. Once again, a lot of Zerglings will try to get us around on top of those adepts, try to stop Kingslayer from getting a third base. Instinct looking good right now, didn't lose a lot of economy. He's gonna be losing a lot of lanes over here though, without actually preventing this base from going up. These 3 adepts are gonna be still keeping the expansion alive, as well as this 1 probe. The economy of Instinct is very strong right now, but still it doesn't really have the production. It's missing too many injects. Kingslayer also gonna have another play. It's gonna be having Immortals in production, gonna be having a Warp Prism, and Dark Templars are trying to wreak havoc at the economy of the Zerg player, as while this archery is in a big threat of going down. Finally, the Queen joins the fray, and it looks like Kingslayer will not do any more damage with those Dark Templars. Lings still trying to scout for anything happening. A 4th archery being dropped as well by Instinct, but the threat of Archons remains, with the Warp Prism adding by Kingslayer right now. The Protoss player will get a lot of scouting information and force some units for Instinct, and actually causing also a supply block for the Zerg player. Kingslayer doing all the moves right after a failed Resonating Glaze timing attack. This Warp Prism will not go down even with Spore Crawlers sharking at every possible spot. Over here, you can still be safe once this Spore Crawler has gone down. A surround of links doesn't really matter. This Warp Prism will just be recalled back home. Kingslayer will not try to go for a dangerous play and maybe lose his Archons, but is instead gonna be adding 3 more Archons to his army. It's gonna be Archons, Immortals, and will not yet see Charge, yes, and Charge Lords. With a couple of adepts as well. Resonating Glaze, of course, no reason to not make some adepts as well. Overall, Instinct getting safely to a good economy, but it doesn't really have the tech and the army it needs to face his opponent. It's only upgrading from 1 Evo Chamber at a time. He has a lot of gas, he could upgrade for 2. He's also trying to get to Hive as quick as possible, but Kingslayer is already moving out with 5 Archons and 3 Immortals. Those 2 Sentry is gonna have a whole lot of force speed ready as well, and Banelink speed not even ready as well. Banelink is gonna be added by instinct, but the army of Kingslayer is so much more powerful than one of his opponents. There are not a lot of charge lots. Those Banelinks will not get a lot of damage. They will just go down to Archons, and Archons are still pushing forward. The concave by instinct means nothing. Kingslayer is gonna be reinforcing his army with more zealots. The drones are going down. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, a very good link run by. It's gonna be killing down these Nexus, but instinct doesn't have anything back home to deal with the army of Kingslayer. He goes to GG, and the Protoss player is at match point. Well, it was a very good game by Kingslayer. He's resonate once again. He tried to go for something very aggressive, resonating blades, timing. Didn't manage to get a lot of damage. He still got a lot of mining time. He forced a little bit of unit making for his opponent. Links that were actually doing nothing, and actually did nothing for a lot of the match. Because once the Archon joined, even if those links were alive, there was no need for them. And maybe wasting them like that wasn't the perfect play for Instinct. Trying to cancel that base with that menu that's already in position was pretty much impossible for him. So maybe saving them for more Banelings later would have been better. He tried to go for aggression of his own, didn't manage to do so. But will he tie up the score in map number 4? Or will Kingslayer win this and advance to the grand finals? Map number 4 is gonna be World of Sleepers. Some very weird map choices by those guys, by the way. Here we are, World of Sleepers, in the bottom left-hand corner. Lightning Protoss currently at match point, hailing from Canada. He is Kingslayer. In the top right-hand side corner instead, playing from North America, he is the Yellow Zerg, Instinct. Will Kingslayer go for Gateway Scout this time? He will not. Kingslayer doesn't really scout a lot. He just likes to go into aggression. Instinct still gonna be placing 16 hatch. Nothing too off this time. Not gonna be trying to go for an early pool play. Didn't really play off in his favor in game number 3. And also Instinct, I'm gonna try to check if there is something being proxied over here, or if he missed a probe coming into his base. Not something very common, but still something that being careful about doesn't really cost a lot. Nexus after the gateway expand, and a cybernetic core, Kingslayer playing it standardly, and Instinct doing the same, placing his pony pool in a little bit of a defensive position, like behind his mineral line, to try and avoid it from being sniped. But that's some very minor fucks. Kingslayer finally going for some scouting of his own. Quick pull by Instinct on his drone. Who will win this fight? Oh, the drone. Creep regeneration probably worked in favor of the drone. And this time Kingslayer delving deep into Stargate play once again. Something that worked so wonderfully for him in game number 1. And I'm really curious to see in the next few minutes how it will play out. Is it gonna be oracles and maybe just one phoenix, or is it gonna be a lot of phoenixes and maybe just one oracle? Like the double Stargate Phoenix play rising in popularity. Something very, very interesting to see. This is probably gonna be a Phoenix first. Oh, actually it's an Oracle first. So no Scout denial. The Stalker is considered enough by Kingslayer to deny some scouting of this Overlord. Since once the Oracle is out, the feat is already over. And well, that's an early lair. That's a very early lair, the 3 minutes, actually it's a 250 lair. Oh my god, how did I miss this? How many guesses? 2 guesses for Instinct. And there is no scouting yet by Kingslayer, who has no clue about this coming. He's gonna be seeing it with the Oracle in a moment. Where is the Oracle, by the way? Oh, it's still here. So yeah, he's not gonna be seeing that for quite a while, actually. Finally moving out with his Oracle. He's gonna be checking what's happening on the other side of the map. A second Stargate gets added, and it is indeed going to be a lot of Phoenixes. This is once again a very common play that we're seeing, especially by Instinct, adding down a Hydra Den after a very, very quick lair. And I'm not sure, but did Kingslayer see it? He did not. That's a very weird spot to place it, because he needs to kill the unbuildable rocks. But yeah, Kingslayer still keeping his opponent pretty much on the blind about what he is doing. And Instinct getting his Hydras out. How did... Oh, wow. Kingslayer just cancelled his Stargate without actually seeing the Hydra Den? Without seeing Hydras? That's 200 IQ. I'm not even sure why he did that, but he just decided to cancel it. Maybe it was scouted, I'm not even sure. But Kingslayer decides not to go for Phoenixes and instead gets a double Robo and a Twilight Council. Also trying to get an expansion as well. Charges on way. Kingslayer changed his plan completely in the brink of a minute. And I'm not even sure what was his goal to change it. That was an incredibly interesting play by the Canadian Protoss player, who's also gonna be having a double Robo to bring up his army to good enough numbers quickly enough. Templar's Archives soon to be added as well, with 4 more gateways. And this is gonna be a lot of Immortals. War Prison, yeah, double Immortal production. Archons and Charge Lots. The standard Immortal Charge Lot Archon composition, so much iconic. To counter what Instinct is trying to do, massing out Hydras before the time should be nigh. Usually units you don't see before the 5th minute mark in the game, and for very good reasons, but it can be a very good play these days if you can get enough Hydras out and then maybe advance to Lurkers quickly enough. Even though Lurker then takes quite a lot to be made, still a very powerful building, very powerful tech option in this matchup. Kingslayer bolstering his ranks with Archons and double Immortal production. Actually he's only producing 1 right now, but yeah, he is supposed to be having double Immortal production. But Instinct is moving out. There are just 2 Archons out, but 2 Archons still are very tough to kill and deal a lot of damage. Kingslayer knows he needs more units right now. He's gonna be getting his upgrade, but 26 lanes are on the way. The timing of Instinct is very strong right now, with Painliness almost done as well. The Zerg player is trying to get on different sides of the map maybe trying to do a link run by while attacking the natural with his Hydras. I'm not even sure right now, but it looks like Instinct is spreading units through the map, but Kingslayer also sending some of his to maybe get some damage. This one link is gonna be checking what the army composition of his opponent is made of. Those zealots not gonna get a lot of damage, so you're just gonna back away. And it's gonna be Lean Bane Hydra for Instinct, but Storm has already been started by Kingslayer, and Storm can deal very well with this with enough force fields, which Kingslayer has plenty of. So it looks like the time for an attack to be deadly for Instinct is slightly gone right now. A Hive, I really like this, Infestation Pit to get a Hive. I like this play, but a Lurker then, I would have liked it more. Finally, +1/+1 attack upgrades are also on the way for Instinct. Those Zealots not gonna be dealing a lot of damage. Zealots not as good as they were once against Hydras, still very good, of course. And Aspire is the play by Instinct, still just starting to mine for this 4th base with the good Vespene Geyser, like the enriched Vespene Geyser being removed from this map. His Vespene Geyser is not gonna be helping a lot. So taking this base is completely useless right now. That's a base you are never supposed to take, to be honest. Like this base over here and this base over here are always better options. Like this one, no, because of this, but it's more easily defensible than this. And this has 2 gases, so yeah. Anyway, Instinct still not ready to go for his push. He's gonna be getting Hive and Greater Spire as soon as the Spire is done and the Hive is done as well. To advance to Brute Lords. Looks like he's really liked that play, but carriers are already in production for Kingslayer. And not a lot has happened this far. Just a lot of scouting, both players pretty much know what the other is up to. And Instinct spreading his army to avoid Zealots from getting damage. This one base will definitely go up if Kingslayer decides to defend it with his full force. There is not enough stuff over here to kill it down. And Instinct is almost maxed out as well. +2/+2 attack upgrades are on the way. This other player has a strong army, has a strong bank, but didn't quite attack when he was supposed to. There are just so many mortals right now. How many mortals is that? 10 immortals. And it looks like Instinct wanted to move on top of this ramp and he decides to do so. He's finally on the ramp of the Brutal's player, but he needs to back away immediately. Because there is a little bit too much stuff out over here. Storms just denying a lot of the army of Instinct. And that's almost 20 supply down with just 3 storms. The base gets cancelled over there. So Instinct overall is double attack actually paid off for him. First Corruptor also out. Great Aspire also on the way, but this Corruptor is walking a little bit too far ahead. He's gonna be getting scouting of the full army of Instinct. But yeah, those 2 carriers. Oh my god, one more Corruptor will go down. The rally of Instinct is not very good right now. Finally, Great Aspire is done. But will Instinct morph Brute Lords, or will he keep those Corruptors for anti-air? It needs Brute Lords to face the ground army, that's for sure. You cannot kill this. With Brute Lords, you can try and kill it and maybe get on top of the carriers with your Hydras. But it looks like Instinct is still trying to keep his Corruptors count high enough to maybe, and just maybe, one-shot a carrier and get to the next. With Hydras trying to kill down the ground army, but there isn't enough ground army for Instinct. This is not a good call by the Zerg player. Still, Creep is basically at the doorstep of Kingslayer's base. But the Protoss player is maxed out, is moving through the map, and his army is vastly superior compared to the one of his opponent. Instinct trying to go for a run by of his own, but we will find only cannons over there, and over here we'll find the whole army of his opponent. Frees up some supply, adds up more Corruptors, but Kingslayer is right now an immense advantage. Not in upgrades, those High Templars looking a little bit too forward, still gonna get some very good storms and gonna bruise a lot of Hydras while killing a lot of them, but the carriers are the true, the mortals are the true issue for Instinct right now. He has no way of killing those immortals. There is just too many of them. Corruptors gonna be trying to get on top of the carriers once they are a little bit out of position, but Kingslayer, with safe control of his army, gets on top of this archery and kills it very, very easily. Instinct has led his opponent into his base a little bit too much. Right now, he's trying to go for a full surround. Interceptors are going down, but the Immortals are gonna be the huge deal of this fight. Corruptors are gonna win the fight against carriers, even just barely. Those carriers will go down. Oh gosh, actually not all of them. But right now, Instinct is 60 supply behind and is only remaking links. The second Spire is gonna be added by Instinct to be getting double upgrades, but he needs brutes and he needs to kill that one carrier. Too many Immortals are gonna be killing the army of Instinct very, very easily. The Zerg player didn't manage to get a full surround engagement on his opponent, and Kingslayer is just gonna go to the next base and get one more kill. Zella run by over here, still getting a lot of damage. Banelings get good connections, and Hydras can clean it up. But it looks like Kingslayer hasn't lost his key units. He lost a couple carriers, yes, but this is 11 Immortals out, and with this many of them, there is no way Instinct can end this game without Broodlords. Kingslayer walking into the main of Instinct right now. Greater Spire is in danger. Those Immortals can kill buildings in a second. He's walking a dangerous path. 3 Broodlords are on the way, but right now the Force Blitz is keeping the Hydras at bay outside of the base of Instinct, and just those 3 Broodlords are gonna be out for quite a while because the Greater Spire is down, the Infestation Pit is down, and the Hive is in danger as well. All of the key structures of Instinct will go down in a minute, and the Broodlords player didn't pay off a lot for this because he's adding up more carriers behind it, and he still has a lot of army back home. The deck options of Kingslayers are vast. The deck options of Instinct are not as much. Instinct will have his Broodlords out, but he will not be making Corruptors for quite a while. And if Kingslayer can add more carriers to this fight, producing 2 at a time, also getting shield upgrades, it's gonna be very, very tough. Corruptors trying to break this target will not manage to do so with Caustic Spray. It was a fancy move by Instinct, but it needs way more than that. 3 more archers being placed down. He has a bank, but he has no way of spending it. He has to start his lair right now because he had to remake his spawning pool. Also +2 air attack is on the way for Instinct. Those interceptors are gonna be dealing a lot of damage. Those links trying to get some damage of their own. 7 Pro's gone down. Fancy move by Instinct, but it's still 80 supply behind and he doesn't have the tech. He can only make Hydras right now, and he's not even remaking those. How many larvae does he have? He has 18 larvae. Those could be 18 more Hydras. Instead, Instinct is just trying to get his Spire as quick as possible. He's gonna be adding some more units, more links, more Hydras, but the count of Immortals and carriers is rising a little bit too high. Kingslayer maxed out. He's gonna be moving through the map in a bit. Also, the Protoss player trying to expand over here. Not that he has a lot of need of. more zealots gonna be playing with the economy of the instinct. Very, very rough game for the North American Zerg. They didn't really have the composition to deal with what his opponent had. Doesn't really have the larva to spend all of his resources. Doesn't really have the tech to spend it. 2 spires are gonna be added immediately, an infestation pit as well to be having a hive as quick as possible. Instinct wants to refill his whole army with corruptors, but Kingslayer is... oh, he's not moving out. Why is he? He definitely needs to move out. Oh, he's waiting for the mothership. Instinct gonna be trying to deny this space. He knows his economy has been far worse than the one of his opponent for the couple last 2 minutes. 3 more targets gonna be added by Kingslayer. He's ready to lose it all right here. He's gonna be trying to build up his bank. But Instinct Spires are done. He's gonna be adding a lot of Corruptors to this. This fight is gonna be the last one, but will Corruptors alone make it without any Spellcaster, without Neural, on top of the Carriers and Immortals, without Vipers? Will it be enough? +2 attack for air units, +1 upgrade for Carapace instead. Oh my god. Yeah, there is an Overseer. Okay, this is the only Overseer. There are 2 Overseers out for Instinct, and this is a completely cloaked army. Okay, finally, he's making more Overseers. 19 Corruptors are on the way, but most of them are gonna be made over here. Oh, how many of them are gonna escape? 1 is down, the second is down as well. Right now, Instinct decides to go for a complete fight. Storm going basically everywhere. The carriers are not going down. Storm on top of the Corruptors, and the army of Instinct is done in a second. Storm plus these many Immortals, plus carriers with +2 upgrade without Infestors. As Instinct said, this is GG. Kingslayer advances to Grand Finals to face Tokon. Well, let me check for one thing super quickly. Gonna be checking if we have the third place match ready. Sorry for this little bit of a wait. Also, again, isn't loading, so. Yeah, Viper Abduct would have been something, especially to thin down the mortal count, but as Instinct stated, probably the real good call in this scenario was probably Infestors. Because it could have helped so much, neuraling a few of those Immortals. Immortals kill each other very, very fast. So, yeah, we have our third place matches, guys. Just let me get them as quick as possible. Sorry for this, it's gonna be a little bit of time. Yeah, okay. Just gonna add those replays to my folder. We're gonna be ready for some more StarCraft, guys. This time, we're gonna face the loser of the matches we just saw. So, Instinct versus Arrow Fire. Let's get to the first. This is gonna be a best of 7, not best of 5. Well, let me fix it real quick. Finally, we're gonna have this straight. Yeah, and just get into it. Arrow Fire versus Instinct, guys. Third place match is gonna be ready in a moment. An Eternal Empire is gonna be our first map for today. And also the first time we see this map today, actually. Oh, thank you very much for helping with the match arena code. Very much appreciated. That's something that helps a lot with building up those prize pools. So if anyone can help with it, I'll be extremely grateful. Also, if it's the one that brings up is for another event. So thank you very much. There is one for this one as well. It's well, ask any of the admins in the chat for the match arena for today's tournament, guys. In the bottom left corner of Eternal Empire, the young French Protoss, he is Arrow Fire. Top right and corner instead, the yellow Zerg, facing one more Protoss to try and get his third place. He is Instinct. I don't know why half of his drones stopped mining. That was weird. Early Arch, nothing to offer him as of now. You see, a lot of Zergs don't really like playing against Protoss on this map. Well, a lot of people, every race doesn't like playing against Protoss on this map. Not even Protoss likes to play Protoss on this map. Because the amount of ramps this map has is so hard to walk through the map. But let's see what Instinct plan is going to be. Arrowfire trying to mess around with this little probe over here. Gonna be getting Nexus and Cybernetics core just at the times he needs it, without going for anything too aggressive yet. Arfire also keeping his probe over here, get some more scouting to see if anything's come out. Can still survive for a lot of time against the Lings once they are out. Instinct just now starting his pack of Lings. Also gonna be keeping 2 drones on gas to be researching all the speed as well and getting more scouting information. And he's gonna need it because Arrowfire is placing down his Stargate. That's gonna be his tech opener. Yeah, when you type exclamation mark title, you can just, well, Nightbot just tells you what the title is. Once again, Instinct gonna be dropping down a fairly early Evil Chamber over here before he starts his lair. Not something very common, something that can get used in this matchup to build up melee upgrade advantage. Arrowfire gonna get some tiny bits of scouting, gonna check first of all the amount of drones in the natural. Also gonna see the Evil Chamber, good scouting with his adept. Seeing that many drones is not scared to a lair play, an early lair play, so he doesn't even go for a scouting in the main. He's just gonna back off with his adept to maybe go for a further scouting later on. The second Oracle is gonna be joining the one that's already out. Instinct finally getting the scouting information he needs. It's gonna be seeing the second Oracle soon to be popping out of the Stargate, and RFI immediately drops down a Robo as his follow-up. This one Oracle cannot really fight through these two queens. He's gonna be looking for another way in. This is not dead air space, so the queens could attack there. The Oracle just backs away and waits for the second one to join. And now with two Oracles out, Instinct moves his links through the map, trying to maybe delay this base from coming up for a little bit. Yeah, that gets around, and some pulsar beam energy needs to get used. Instinct found what he wanted to find. Wasted energy on those Oracles. Instinct, meanwhile, getting a pretty good economy, probably soon to be adding down his fourth archery, and he's playing basically the most standard way possible. He needs a lair up, though, to... yeah, oh, wow. Immediately, as I said it, he adds up his lair. Roach Warren, almost done. He's gonna be adding a Bailey Nest as well very soon. No need to thread it against the Stargate opener. RFR push will not come in a minute. It will take a little bit more for the Protoss player to have a healthy amount of units to send through the map. And oh gosh, it's gonna be an Archon drop right here. That's a lot of gas spended by Arafire to make this. But he still needs some scouting information. He still needs what's going to happen. Needs to know what's going to happen. And it's gonna be Roach, Ravager, Lin, and Bane composition most likely for the Zerg player. The most standard way to play this matchup nowadays. Maybe to add some more tech deep units later on. The War Prism was in real danger, but one queen also doesn't go down, just barely. It will go down right now. A lot of drones are also in real danger of dying, and 5 of them gone down by this Archon drop. Not something you see that often, because it's often very risky for those Archons to get into position to deal with drones, because Spore Callers and Queens be threatening down the War Prism, and that's exactly what's going to happen. The War Prism will go down, one of the Archon will go down as well. Arafire paying a tough price for his harassment over here, getting one Queen, a couple links, 5 drones, yes, but he lost an Archon. And that was a very expensive Archon. Not a DT Archon. He was a High Templar Archon. 300 gas and 400 minerals gone into the sink for Arafire, who's also supply blocked right now. The Protoss player not playing the best of his games as of now. Instinct instead getting his 4th base, getting his Painliness, and getting also a macro hatch. Yes, also a macro hatch. Actually, a macro / creep hatch. That's fancy. Very weird location to place down a hatchery, especially against Protoss. This one observer not gonna be getting any more information for the Protoss player, but right now those 2 Oracles can finally start and try to do something. There is 1 Spore Caller at the ready, but this means that at least 4 drones could die. The Queen gets in position, the creep has scouted those 2 Oracles coming. So this could also very well just be a relief. But if not, Pulsar Beam gets used, getting 2 drones, losing 1 Oracle. Not exactly what RFI wanted to do. 1 more Archon drop is the play of the Protoss player who wants to keep his units on the side of the map of his opponent. And Instinct is waiting to bite it down once RFI isn't looking, but RFI is indeed looking very much. Storm is on the way. A lot of gateways are already out for the Protoss player that has the economy to support a very powerful push in the next upcoming moments. But Instinct has the upgrades. He has what he needs. He's also adding an infestation pit to maybe be making a hive Doesn't really have a strong army right now, but it will shortly. RFI building up his army count as well. Adding more High Templars that he's probably gonna be placing inside of the prism to try and storm at surprise. Instinct still trying to go a little bit too quickly into Spire without having a strong army to support it. With the Hive on the way, he needs to survive in the next few minutes, and that's gonna be very, very hard. Because our Fire army is getting into a spot that's very hard for him to deal with just barely Roach, Ravager, Ling, and Banes. Without any kind of a stepping stone, or without a maxed out army of those stuff to be expanding on something, it's very, very rough for the Zerg players to actually advance into late game safely nowadays. Arafire is preparing his push, he has a very strong army. He's gonna be having a lot of storms at the ready, with a couple of force fields to help with it as well. He's gonna be getting to 6 Archons, actually 4 Archons, sorry, as well. His run by will not do much, but the Protoss player is pushing Instinct into a part of the match doesn't really want to be in. 5 Spine Crawlers being added to this base to avoid any Zealot run by from doing a lot of damage. Now the Zealots are trying to focus down the Spire. Greater Spire gets started, transfuse on top of the Spire as well. Those Zealots are not going down, but they will eventually. Spire survives with 83 health points. Clutch transfuses by Instinct, but will it survive for long enough for Instinct to survive the game? I'm not sure. Arafai is moving through the map, and this is a map that once you're on the opponent's side with a Protoss army, it's very, very difficult for the Zerg to deal with it, because getting to run almost impossible. You need to rely on Ravager Pulse, but look at how many units are going down for free for Arafai, for Instinct, sorry. Those Ling run by cause a disaster for Arafai, that's for sure. But once again, does Instinct has what he needs to kill the army of his opponent? I don't really think so. He lost a little bit too much for free. He's trying to rebuild his army on top of this ramp, but the ramp is blocked by the Sentry. The Hive is under attack. The Greater Spire is no more. Once again, Instinct doesn't have the tech options anymore. The ramp is blocked. Ravagers are gonna try to go down this ramp. More storms are gonna be killing more Banelings, more Ravagers, more of this stuff. The Instinct is hiding on top of his ramp. The War Prism is also be lifting some of the units of Arafai over there. One more storm on the ramp is gonna definitely close the deal. GG gets called. Arafai gets the victory in game number 1. Yeah, I gotta drink. I gotta drink something, because my voice is starting to feel less responsive. So Arafai, impressive game, losing a lot of stuff for free, still managing to build up a strong army and close out the deal. Meanwhile, Instinct didn't really have the greatest game decisions, didn't really pull out the advantage he gained to his favor, trying to be a little bit too greedy, getting to a late game stage without having the army to support it, and that didn't pay off in his favor. But let's see in game number 2 on Trident what's gonna happen. In the top left hand corner, the young French, 12 years old. He's in red, he's in Protoss, he's Arafire. Bottom right hand corner instead, the yellow Zerg playing on his barcode account. Shame on you. Instinct. Don't play on barcode, guys. Barcode are bad for you. Just kidding, by the way, of course. Gateway Scout for Arafire. Trying to check for anything to cheesy early happening for Instinct. Not that it's gonna come. 16 Hatch is the first building coming out of a drone for Instinct. Arafire is gonna see that nothing too aggressive is coming. Once again, spawning pool gets placed in a safe spot. Extractor already there. And Arafire can just try to be a little bit annoying with his probe and then get away. Apprentice already been placed, have an A score added immediately after by the Protoss player. That's a tough map to wall off, by the way. I hate this wall off, to be mean. And I don't even play Protoss mostly, so that says a lot. But for everything else, Trident. Very easy to get to your first 4 bases. Like, I know this base is not really close, but it's exploitable only by drops, not really by a Zerg or by a Protoss player. This base over here, very open. Against Zerg still, you have to walk through this and this choke point. So, a good defensive Protoss can still get out with it very easily. But once you get to that, expanding more is basically a mess. Arafai gonna keep his probe over here to check for some more scouting information. Otherwise, it's best to send another spy. And he's gonna be adding his target as the first tech building in his own base. So he's gonna be oracles and maybe phoenixes, or maybe both, or maybe just phoenixes. I don't know. We're gonna find out soon enough. It's probably gonna be a couple oracles trying to mess up with the economy of Instinct. Very good play if did in the best possible way. Those things are weird. But that gonna try to get the scouting information he needs. Gonna see there is a lair, there is not, and then it's just gonna be shitting once more to check the drone count. Is he though? Yes, he is. One more shade to check the drone count. Drone count is healthy enough. He can get away, but it looks like Instinct still is up to no good. This lair is very early, and I still think this is gonna be the Hydra Den play that he showed against Kingslayer in the former semifinals. Phoenix is gonna be denying some more vision for Instinct. But Arafire is gonna be having his follow-up at the ready immediately after he thinks he has done enough with his target play. Robo gets added immediately after the Overlord was killed by the Phoenix. And over here, Arafire is also gonna get some scouting on his third base being placed. I don't think he's gonna go into the main to check for some lair play yet, even because lair should be actually pretty standard for this timing, so he probably thinks there's a lair already. But Hydra Den is there, and I don't really think that Arafai saw it. Yeah, he didn't. So once again, Instinct sneaks away with an early Hydra Den without his opponent actually knowing. But will it play off in his favor this time? Last time he maxed out on Hydra Limb Bane without actually doing anything with it. Too many mortals ended up killing him. And Kingslayer did a very good call of stopping making phoenixes. But this time Arafire already getting charge, already getting Templar Archives, already getting the tech buildings in need to stop the Hydras from being a superpower in this matchup. Lean's gonna try to get some vision for Instinct as well, gonna be scouting for a third base as well. Arafire gonna be expanding in a triangular pattern over here. While still keeping map control with his target units, avoiding overloads from walking through the map, and stuff such as that. Group Spines on the way, Baneling Nest as well. Link Bane Hydra composition is gonna be the comp for Instinct this game as well. And look at this, 2 Archons, 4 Zealots in the main of Instinct, completely unscouted. The Archons are gonna be trying to deal as much damage as possible. The Oracle is down, but these Archons are gonna be killing a ton of drones. This game wasn't playing with game art, because a lot of drones have already gone down. Those Archons still keeping up with the aggression. 1 Archon almost dead, but not dead enough. It escaped inside the Warp Prism. The Zealots are expendable. And how many drones did die? 14 drones died with this very interesting push by Arrowfire. That is still gonna be keeping up with aggression with an Archon with 8 HP. So I don't think that's a very clever idea. This Archon is going down immediately. Zealots are gonna be getting on top of the Hydras, on top of the drones. A lot of damage once again being dealt by Arrowfire, who's also gonna be making more of those Zealots. Banelings trying to get detonations, much needed. The Zealots will go down. This 1 Archon is in real danger, and the Warp Prism is as well. The Warp Prism will go down, and so will all of the units. Arrowfire not recalling back his Archon. He still wants to deal some more damage. I don't know why he isn't recalling it, because he still has 4 Zealots alive. Instinct doesn't even have a lot going for him right now. This Archon will go down, but the Zealots are still very much a threat. 3 Hydras popping out of their archery are gonna be helping with killing down those last remaining Zealots. But the drones gone down this far have been 34. A little bit too much, I'd say. Instinct doesn't really look strong in this game. Adepts and Zealots sent through the map to close this game once and for all. The Immortal is gonna get surrounded easily by Lings. Not gonna be making a lot, but the Adepts and Zealots are still gonna be killing a lot of units before being killed on their own. How many more Lings? 4 more drones have gone down, 8 more are in production for Instinct. That is 15 workers behind, and still doesn't have the army to face his opponent. He's trying to go for a counter-attack of his own, but there are 2 sentries, 2 Zealots, and 2 Archons already out with 3 shield batteries popping up. Yeah, that's a scrappy game for sure. But Arrowfire got himself in a very nice spot, almost exploiting without knowing the build that Instinct trying to do, with Hydras not really being that great against Zealots and Archons. 1 shield battery gets cancelled because Arrowfire is sitting safely with 5 Archons back home. He knows nothing can scathe him. And Instinct instead desperately trying to get his economy back from the shambles he was left in by Arrowfire. Still no 4th base for the Protoss player, no real need for him to make one. He can just go through the map and attack at this point. It does so much damage, he doesn't really want to risk it. And Instinct still trying to get a 4th base to reinforce his economy and advance to a later tech stage. Muscular Omens +1 missile attack is the call for the Zerg player. He's trying to add more units, but Arrowfire has the tech options he needs to face his opponent. He's gonna be adding some more High Templars to have Storms at the ready. Also +1 ground weapons on the way for Arrowfire. Those Lings will just get a little bit of scouting information, they will probably not get more. Those 4 Zealots, kinda the same. There are a lot of Banelings at the ready over here. Baneling speed is done. So yeah, no way those Zealots can do a lot. This 1 Zealot trying to sacrifice his life to gain 1 Baneling. I just will prevent this from happening. But Arrowfire is moving out right now. 150 supply to 130, and his army is stacked wisely. Vast superior to the one of his opponent. Oh my god, how many Archons? 6 Archons, and there is 1 Storm per High Templar right now. So 4 Storms. There is a ton of splash damage. This archer will not survive for long if the High Templars can survive to storm down the Banelings and the Hydras. There is no way Instinct can hold this. There is just too many Zealots, too many Archons, Sentry, force building out the Banelings. Banelings detonating only on top of the Archons. The Frontier Archons are just gonna go down very easily to Hydras, but what about everything else? Banelings not getting connections at all this time, and Storm keeping the Hydras at bay. The Conclave is perfect right now, but the Storms are gonna be preventing those Hydras from surviving long enough for this to be a factor. More Zealots gonna be added, the Archons are on top of the economy, the Immortals are not dying, and this is a disaster but for Instinct, and Arafire is still gonna be pushing on top of the ramp of his opponent safely and soundly, killing all of the economy that Instinct had this game every single time. This Archon is not going down, this one is not going down either. The army of Instinct is no more a GG, is just a second from coming. Here it is, Instinct tops out of this game, and Arrowfire gets his second victory in this best of 7 series. Well, a scrappy game, and when scrappy games mean drones dying, this usually means Protoss players winning. And that's exactly what happened. Arrowfire blindsided his opponent with a drop into his main with a little bit too much stuff. And Instinct tried to go once again for a fast tech build. Didn't quite manage to get the amount of later tech units he needed to face the composition of his opponent, already getting Storm and Archons. And that's just how the game went in favor of the young French Protoss player that is now spawning in the top right corner of World of Sleepers. He's Arrowfire. In the bottom left hand corner instead, 2 points behind in his best of 7. Not all of it is lost, but he needs some magic to happen to get this third place finals in his favor. He is Instinct, alien from North America. Roller gets cancelled. Instinct is very, very quick on his fingers. He's always doing something. That's impressive. Once again, 16 Hutch. Not gonna go for something too aggressive yet. Arrowfire is gonna be scouting with his Gateway Probe for anything to off. Not gonna find anything yet. This is gonna be 16 Hatch, 18 Gas, 17 Pool. Plays behind the mineral line once again. Interesting play to avoid any kind of drop from killing the spawning pool, but it means leaving your drones a little bit more prone to being attacked, and it means by not placing it over here, it means you will not find a warp prism warping stuff in your main, and that's probably what killed Instinct in game number 2. So I'm actually surprised by not seeing him placing a spawning pool like over here. That's probably the best thing to do in this matchup. But it is a matter of choice that doesn't really play off in more than like 20% of the games, really. At first, for Arrowfire, that decides not to deny scouting yet for his opponent. Linspin gets started, 2 drones still on gas to have a quick clear on overload speed. Oh my god, what is happening? Okay, 1 drone on gas. That is very weird. His probe will escape a little bit of bounty on his head by after stealing 5 minerals. Twilight Council is the play for Arrowfire, who started it off with a Adept. So yeah, with Robotics Facility being added, I'm actually thinking this could be heavy Adept style, because there is still a lot of gas being mined, by Arafire, and he's past the 100 gas benchmark for a Zealot play. This one overload, without overload speed, he's not gonna be scouting what's happening. The Stalker was right in time. He saw the probe mining, but not much more. Instinct also supply blocked. A Dark Shrine gets added, so this is not gonna be Glaive, but this is gonna be some Archon drop with DTs. Dramatic Carapace for all the speed is on the way as well for Instinct to get some more scouting information after completely missing what his opponent was doing. And Arafire is instead getting to the 4 gateways he needs to get it started with his Archon drop and his Dark Templars play. Lane's gonna be trying to get some more scouting, maybe try to get a deny on the 4th base, on the 3rd base of the Protoss player. Not managed to do much, but this time Instinct is instead gonna be getting a Roach Warren and the 3rd gas probably shortly after to start making some units. Overlord gonna intercept this Warp Prism coming, but does Instinct know it's gonna be Dark Templars? This one Spore Crawler gets added, one is here and one is already here. So Dark Templars, yeah, right now I think, yeah, right now Instinct knows Dark Templars are gonna be trying to kill down the Spore Crawlers and maybe try to get the kills on the archeries and maybe the queens as well. Warp Prism still there to collect those Dark Templars and move them into Archons once the damage has been done. And this is a ton of damage that Instinct wasn't really looking to get started. But right now Instinct is in just 2 archeries and Arafire is already halfway through his 3rd one. 3rd one gets added by Instinct, but it's gonna be very, very late. Oh, this Crypt Tumor. Oh god. Oh my god, this was so close. Crypt Tumors actually die if you place them, and the creep around it dies. No way Instinct can get a cancel on top of that base, also with the Dark Templar being there. Right now the Archon drop can instead begin, with Charge being added and 4 more gateways on the way for Arafire. There's no real way Instinct can really do much about what's to come to him because he doesn't have the production to face 8 gateways Zealots. Archon's trying to get some more kills, trying to pin down the army of his opponent before sending the real full force to close out the deal. Immortals also gonna be adding to the fray really soon. Instinct losing 1 base, losing just too much for him. Only now he starts mining back from it, but the problem was the production. As you can see, he's flooding some resources he doesn't really know how to spend. Right now he makes 8 more drones, not a good call after what he scouted. But yeah, that's what makes losing archeries so bad against Protoss. Because roaches and lanes are not not larva efficient. So Instinct is gonna be adding some more Ravagers and more lanes shortly as well. Arafire is already moving through the map. He has his Warp Prism at the ready. And Instinct doesn't have much, doesn't have Banelings to face the Zealots. He has a couple Queens with Transfuses. He needs perfect Biles to end this game in his favor. Arafire getting ready to push on top of the ramp, on top of the choke point. Instinct trying to get a concave, but he will not get a very good one. Sentry's keeping half of his army from fighting, and these Archons can get safely on top of the Lings, on top of the Ravagers. The army of Instinct is melting right now to the shots of Archons and Immortals. Sentry's helping down with the Force Spirits. The Zealots just not dying. The Warp Prism adding more and more units to the battle, and it's just a couple of Roaches and Ravagers. All the Queens have gone down. Instinct losing on this fight again, and Arafire is at match point. Oh, thank you very much for the compliments. Yeah, match number 4. RFI currently at match point. Instinct needs to win 4 games in a row to get his third place match. Looking like a rough day for our third player, but let's see if he manages to bring back this series to his side. And his map number 4 is gonna be Winter's Gate. Here we are in the bottom right corner. Currently a match point. The red Protoss is Arrowfire. In the top left hand corner instead, the North American Zerg, not quite being able today to show off his great games he has showed in the group stage. He is Instinct. Once again, 16 Hatch. Instinct really isn't cheesing as much as he was in the group stages. Like, he had some very crazy good builds, pulling off some good victories for him. But it looks like he wants to be settling on a 16 Hatch pretty much every game he played against a Protoss player. Probably knowing Arafire and Kingslayer are both very good at defense. Let's see if he's gonna be keeping the throttle off this game as well and just be macroing it up. Or if he's gonna go for something a little bit more fancy and aggressive. Arafire mining some minerals over there and getting away with his probe to get some further scouting. Meanwhile, just adding his Nexus, knows nothing can come at him right now, and he's gonna be adding the cybernetic score as well. Whoa, 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 whoa. What is this, Instinct? Double archery before the pull is done. Playing like, I don't know, playing like a GSL Zerg right now. That's a very, very dangerous play. Like, if you can manage to pull off and avoid a strong attack by the Protoss after he scouts it, it pays off you so much, but you have to be really, really good at handling off any amount of pressure. And it looks like Arafai is going for a target. That's already good news for Instinct, that he's gonna be able to replace his drones very quickly with a triple archery larva production, with queens soon to be made to be helping with the injects. But he's not gonna be having gas for quite a while, so any kind of mid-game push will not work in his favor as long as he doesn't really tax up, because without gas, of course, you cannot tech up. But what is his decision right now? Arrowfire doesn't complete the shade. He doesn't know his opponent is not getting gas, but he probably knows this build. So really, really curious to see what is gonna be his follow-up. First Oracle is on the way. Instinct gonna get full scout of the base of the Protoss player. And one more shade. Oh, okay, finally Instinct is mining gas from here. And actually this third player is actually faking to mine gas from the mineral, from the main, because of the fact he's mining gas from here. You will not think that this is the only gas he's mining from. But when lane speed starts, second Oracle is gonna be joining the one that's already out for Instinct. One Oracle has died scouting, one Overlord has died scouting the main of Arafire, and for good purposes. And Arafire decides finally to go for some more tech heavy stuff. Robotics facility, Tuana Council, 2 more gates added down by the French Protoss player, looking to get some damage to the greedy play of Instinct. 2 Oracles right now Gonna be eluding those queens. Gonna be trying actually to dive on top of one of them. Maybe we'll get a kill. Oh, third queen joins. And this pulsar beam energy was completely to waste for Arafire. We just got a little bit of scouting and not much more. And in Templar Archives as well, Arafire placing down all the tech he needs to perform a strong mid-game push. And he's also gonna be adding down the third Nexus he needs to reinforce his economy and prepare for probably what is gonna be an 150 supply attack, something to the likes of it. Still gonna be trying to get all of his key structures. Probably soon to be adding a forge down as well with his third base. Oh, there, halfway through. Instead, for Instinct, that he's still not getting a fourth base, and he's probably wanting to get one, more likely for the lava production than for anything else. Of course, cannot get it over here under those oracles. Over here, a little bit too exposed to a mid-game push. Winter's Gate, not the best Zerg map, if you ask me. So Arafire, oracles on one side, Archon drop on the other, but Instinct is very well prepared. Arafire quick on his reflexes, steps back away with his Word Prism. One drone gone down over here to these oracles, so the attempt of Arafire to blindside his opponent didn't really pay off. Those queens still trying to chase down every key units of the Protoss player, but that's the retreat over here. The quick spread has been insane for Instinct in all the games. A revelation on top of the army of Instinct is gonna be granting Arafire the knowledge he needs to advance to his next tech stage. He already has his Templar Archives, he's already studying immortal production. Oh, poor probes. Oh no. Okay, they finally got him through. Archon drop, still trying to get some tiny bits of damage, with an observer also helping with denying some creep. Word Prism is in real danger right now though, so Arafire will just decide to back away with his forces still intact, while Instinct is instead being getting this fourth base is so much needs to face off what is coming to him soon after. First Forge already researching, +1 ground weapons halfway through. Storm is just started. Already 2 Archons and 2 Immortals are in the army of Arafire, and many more are going to join. A lot of lanes are going down basically for free, and that's what Archon drop forces Zerg players to do. Also, this inhibitor zone doesn't block units coming from here. That's stupid. This one, Word Prism once again in real danger. The crit spread of Instinct allowed him to have queens basically anywhere he needed it for the whole series. But he never had enough, probably. Observer helping with Pulsar Beam action on top of the script tumors for the oracles. That's something you don't see that often, but he's denying a lot of creep. And also killing some lanes. Overall, good action by those oracles. Still, where is the Word Prism? Is back home? Yeah, it is back home. Word Prism recovering his shields to maybe try and go for some more damage. Instinct once again tech raising his opponent. Infestation Pit being dropped, hyped halfway through. Spire halfway through as well. Getting just now his upgrades and getting just now the amount of units he needs to face his opponent. This time though, he's in a little bit of a better shape. Instinct has way more army than he did in the games before. Doesn't really have the tech to face his opponent, doesn't really have enough Ravagers, but still, with these many Banelings, Arafire cannot safely walk through the map. There are a lot of Zealots, yes, there are a lot of Storms, yes, actually there is no Storm. Oh yeah, there are Storms. How many? It's probably with when the push comes. Oh my god, it looks like Instinct is the one pushing. He cannot go through this inhibitor zone, but this base will never go up for the Protoss player. A ton of probes are also going down, and this time finally, Instinct is fighting back. 12 probes down, a Nexus cancelled, Aura Fire behind in workers, behind in army supply, and is soon to be behind in tech. Aura Fire needs to make something happen before Instinct can get his key units out. And it looks like it's exactly what he wants to do. This army is still a very powerful one, and there are about, I think it's 5 storms ready for Aura Fire right now. Actually, it's 4 storms to be dealing a lot of damage. Those links are basically sacrificing to the Protoss army right now, but Instinct is splitting his forces in the best possible way. Of course, these units shouldn't be over here. Oh my god, they don't have to engage. Okay, they are moving in a better spot right now. Instinct is looking good. The army of Aura Fire is moving through, but 12 probes have gone down once again, and the army are finally clashing. A lot of banelings get cut off. The storms are getting basically anything, but the army of Aura Fire is in real danger of going down for the first time in this series. Instinct engaged a little bit too blindly, detonated too many banelings on top of the Archons, and now he has to back off. But you look at his production, 30 more links, 25 more banelings in production. And Aura Fire has soon to be shoot away from his base if those Archons go down. Banelings trying to get the best detonation they can possibly can, but they do not manage to do so. A lot of banelings detonated for nothing, and that's not what Instinct was looking for. Aura Fire is walking still forward on creep. Banelings detonated on nothing. And the army of Instinct is no more after 2 incredibly successful run-by. After a very good engagement pattern, after a lot of good units being there, a good tech race, it looks like Instinct is finally falling to Aura Fire with probably what was the best game we've seen of him today, and Aura Fire is gonna get the 3rd place of Code S. So yeah, we have already our first prize ready for our young French player, placing 3rd in this Code S playoffs bracket. Guys, it has been a very good stream. Thank you for joining us, so many of you. Thank you for being active in chat, and thank you to the players for everything. I think we have seen some very good games, very nice strategies. Maybe this one last series was a little bit too one-sided, but still some very good StarCraft. So I want to thank everyone for joining me in this stream. And I want you to meet one of our players, guys. So I'm gonna be reading Chris, aka Dojo Gamer, one very good Grandmaster Protoss player. So go and say hi to my friend for me, and once again, thank you everybody for joining me in this. Oh gosh. Okay, we're ready. Thank you guys. See you tomorrow for the Goddess Finals of Tokon versus Kingslayer, and tomorrow morning for some Blazing Series action. Thank you everybody for watching me, guys.